Good morning. So, got some weather.
Oh, good.
That's all I got to say. Got some weather. Today's show. Oh, it's Friday. That's why I forgot. It's Friday. The weather has to suck on Fridays in the spring, doesn't it? Just part of the agreement.
It's part of the deal we made with the devil.
Showery and chilly. Showers taper toward evening with a high of 51. Tonight, cloudy and breezy. A low of 38, and it's almost May. Mostly cloudy with scattered showers, a high of 51 again tomorrow. Sunday, very windy and chilly with scattered showers, a high of only 49 on Sunday. On Monday, blustery with a high of 53. And then finally, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 58, 68, 66, and sunny all 3 days. So it cannot be nice on the weekends. It has to be nice on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Yeah, that's when all the fun stuff happens, obviously, is on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's when you want the nice weather.
Indeed. That's exactly when you want it, because you're sitting around your ass at work. So there you go. Just want to mention briefly again, I saw some stuff on Jerry Springer, and Jerry's come on the queue once in a while. Very nice guy. Never met him in person, but he died at 79 years old yesterday, and they were showing some old clips, and that show did get way out of line. I mean, it got way over the top.
Oh, my God.
It was just what?
My step-grandpa, so my stepdad's dad, loved that show. Like, it was always really funny, the people that, like, loved that show.
It was huge for a long time. He did very, very well, but what's kind of sad is some people, I don't know if they avoid it or not, but a couple of the national channels, and of course he was arrested for buying a whore on the street. They had to bring that up.
They always bring back like all that one bad thing that happened back like when he was like 34 years old. He's had a life of just giving and being a nice guy, but that one time, that's what they never forget.
What is like?
No, it's true. It's true.
That's like the lamest one too. Like that in a good way. Like that's like okay, tried to pay for sex with somebody above 18.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Growing up in the inner city, why is it that if I wanted to go pick up a hooker, I wouldn't even know where to start to look?
I wouldn't even know where to look.
Where do you go? I mean, do guys know that? Where they're supposed to go for the hook ski?
Yeah, some of us.
I would.
That's all I know. I got a few addresses
would you
for
know,
Tom.
like driving around, like I would know who to talk to, like which friends of friends I could get to it. But I don't know where we can't like drive around and grab them here, can we?
It's not Minneapolis is not like you got to know somebody who knows somebody.
Yeah.
I just never understood the whole. I just don't think that I could have that great a time if I had to pay for it. And it's not that I'm cheap, but it's like she's not really into this for me. It's the money part.
Yeah, that's why I'm into it.
Well, no, see, a lot of people are like that. I'm very personal about that stuff. If I'm gonna, play the Stupski, I gotta actually care.
But I think that's what they're very talented at. Like some of the people that, like the dancers I know, is they're good at making you feel like belonged and welcomed, and they're very they're not just like robotic. Like okay, now we have sex. It would be like. They're very sweet. Like, they're the opposite of me in the morning. They're very nice and welcoming.
So is the rest of the world. So what the hell's that got to do with it?
So, like...
Now, I have a question. You said dancers.
Yeah.
So not all dancers are hookers, though.
No, God, no. But, like, I just mean... They like to call... Like, they put it in a bubble of sex workers.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, and that's what
You should dancers and sex workers.
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified. It's not a bad thing, like to be called a sex worker.
See, I didn't know that because whenever I heard it, it was always about a hooker.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in that world are trying to decriminalize prostitution and stuff because usually it comes down pretty hard on the women. But anyways, like it goes under the umbrella of sex working. But I'm glad you clarified. I wasn't trying to say that all dancers are prostitutes.
No, I just, it's one of those situations. And people may not understand this listening around the world right now, that for some reason, Minnesota kicks out a lot of hookers. There's actually Minnesota Row in New York City. It's not the official name of the street, obviously. It's right off of 42nd.
Then you take a right on Minnesota Row.
Take a right, where all the hook skis are from Minnesota.
Yeah, Barb and Barb, and then there's Barb next to Barb.
Right.
Yeah.
Why do you think that would be? There's so many hookers that go from Minnesota to New York.
I don't know. I'm
weird.
proud, though. Like, at least we're putting something out in the world.
A product out there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's real nice.
International trade.
Yeah, I don't know. It's another one of those deals. I just don't know why I was different. I just never had any desire to have sex with a hooker.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you though. You want to be a hooker? Good for you. You
Yeah.
want to buy hookers? Good for you too. I don't care. What the hell do I care? As long as you're not beating the unless of course they like to be beat up, I guess.
Whoa.
Well, some of them do, I guess. That's the
Whoa.
other part of it.
That's a very small niche you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Oh, I don't think as small as you think it is.
You got to pay extra for that, though.
Yeah, you do. That's from what I understand. I understand that's probably
Bleak.
true.
That's too bleak. It's 7 a.m., you guys.
One thing I will tell you, honest to God, and I learned this a long time ago when I was in the record business, hookers are really good at picking out who the customer is. Because I have had literally 3-4 hookers come up to me over the years, and they come up to our group, and they come to me and go, well, not you. No, that's not going to work. I said, why? What's the matter? They said, you're just not into it. They're really good at picking out their catch or whatever. Have you ever noticed that? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's amazing.
Although sometimes I was in Vegas once, and my buddy Chris is a chief of police in northern Minnesota.
Oh, no.
And we were walking through the stratosphere, the casino part.
Right.
And these two ladies walk up and they go, "Hi, you guys looking for a good time tonight?" And Chris goes, "Ma'am, I'm a police officer." And she said,
So
"Okay, well, answer the question.
Yeah.
You looking for a good time or
Oh,
not?"
that just shows you.
I love that.
It just shows you her clientele.
Yeah.
Like, that's funny.
Yeah, it's a whole different deal. I really wish people would understand that most of us stuck here in the middle, not the extremists on both sides, but most of us, I don't care as long as you don't prey on children or things like that. You do what you do, man.
Yeah, I don't
right?
care. I don't care at
I
all.
just don't give a rat's ass. Why do they think we care?
No, I have no. If that was like a legalized way you make your, I don't really. I mean,
Yeah.
And if people want to buy good for you, like use your money the way you want. I don't care. That's why the Jerry Springer thing, them mentioning that, it's like,
Yeah.
God, who cares?
Well, and I got to ask both of you guys because this is another statement I can make with total clarity and honesty. Have the two of you, between the two of you ever wore a gimp hood?
No, I have not. Uh-oh.
Did you see the look she just gave me?
Yeah, but look, you see the look that Rudy has?
The Rudy. See, I was looking at you, so Rudy got a look, huh?
Yeah.
Did you zip the mouth shut? And
There's might have been a red rubber ball involved. I'm just saying. Yeah.
right over the yapper?
Yeah, and I spent a little bit of time at Ground Zero. It's fine. It's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, that zipper would be nice some of the time for my husband, especially like if we're trying to watch a show.
Yeah.
That would be a turn on for me if we could just zip.
Zip his mouth shut. That would be really nice.
That's
You're
hot.
absolutely right.
That's very attractive.
I don't know how we got on this. How did I get on this subject?
Jerry
because of
Springer.
Jerry Springer. That's right, exactly. So Jerry unfortunately died. Never met him in person. Great guy on the phone. Very, very pleasant person.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Just that's the deal.
You are killing me because I really want to hear about Skor North's event.
So yeah. So last night, obviously, Judd and Phil work on the show. They have from day one. Loved having them on, and I've talked at length, and this really hit home for me last night because Joe Souchere made the initial move. Now, yes, my family started the podcast 11 years ago, so we were way out front of everything. But I was working for the wrong company; it wouldn't support a damn thing other than putting money in hedge funds' pockets. Mm-hmm. But 5-6 years ago, something like that, Joe moved off of 1500 KSTP onto digital. So he kind of started the ball rolling as far as a corporation like the Hubbards doing this thing. And Joe's done very, very well. And then along came Phil and Judd, kicking ass as well. So we're kind of like the third shot in. And again, this should have started happening 10 years ago. Literally, we're late to the party as far as setting up like podcasting networks and all that stuff. I don't know why Minnesota is, but we are late to that party. But it's coming on big now, and I'll give you an example. So I told Judd and Phil that I'd come by just to be there when they started their show and all the rest of it. I got over there at 5:50. It was. There was no place within about a 2-block walk to park. Nowhere. You guys have been to Park Tavern. Mm-hmm. You were there for the thing we just did there. Nowhere to park at all. the people walking down the street by the hundreds. I don't know how many people that place holds, but the outdoor patio, the indoor was so crowded you couldn't move in there. So tip of the cap to Skor North and Phil and Judd, because that thing was a huge success. I left right as the draft started because I didn't want to get in the way. I wasn't there to be introduced or, hey, Tom's with us, or I just wanted to be there to support the guys.
It's packed. I looked at their Instagram.
Packed.
It's packed at park.
Yep.
That congratulations, guys. That's awesome.
But it also shows what podcasting is all about. Mm-hmm. That's where everybody's going now. And a lot of very young people were there too. I mean, old enough to drink, of course.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Or have a good fake.
Now, I have to run some by you guys, the one bit of research I did for this show while being there last night, because honest to God, it was so, you had a hard time walking more than 10 feet without asking somebody to get by. It was that packed. Right?
They're all wearing their little matching Viking outfits.
Yes, they were. I didn't have a matching Viking outfit, thank God. Thank God I didn't have that.
In their Instagram, Rudy, you'll like this. On their last video, you can see there's a guy front and center, of course, wearing a Packers. Yep.
Yep.
All Vikings.
He was there all night.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think there were two of them, actually, two Packer guys.
Okay.
And nobody gave a rat's ass.
Oh, no, but it's just funny to be
It
like,
is. No, I agree.
somebody does a blog.
Yeah, there's kind of an unwritten code about wearing jerseys of other teams to different places. Yeah, and I'm a big fan. I like when you go into an opposing team's house and you have, like, if the Vikings are playing the Bears, but you show up in a Packers jersey. Totally okay with that.
Yeah.
But if you go to if you're a Vikings fan and you go to a Vikings game in a Vikings jersey of a player who plays in the NFL but not for the Vikings anymore, take it off.
Really?
You have to wait until that person's retired to wear that jersey again.
Really?
Jerseys are $50-$60. You
They
can't go and buy a jersey that is a player that is currently on the Vikings roster. Like when Randy Moss was playing for the Patriots, I saw a ton of Moss jerseys, and I'm like, put him away until he retires and then pull him out.
Okay, but that rule is null and void when they go to the UK and they play, because it's really funny when they scan the whole stadium, because a lot of times people just show up for their only NFL game they can watch, and so you see every jersey ever there. It'd be like if we were like invited to a soccer game and I like pulled, I think this was like a soccer jersey I once wore. But it's just so funny. It's like a rainbow of colors. No commitment to any team. It's amazing.
It'll happen, So the one thing I wanted to run by you guys about being at the Park Tavern. Park Tavern, by the way, did a great job. I did not have a chance to. I was going to eat, but I didn't have a chance to because there was nowhere to sit.
Yeah.
And there was nowhere to even stand and eat. So
that place was crazy. Okay.
It was insane.
So you said you did some research.
Well, yeah. Well, I suppose it's kind of research, but as I was walking through, I met several of our listeners, like 10 of them, or 8, 10, 9, 10 of them, something like that.
Wow, and they recognized you?
That's the weird thing is, yes, because nobody, the great thing, even with the billboards, people started to recognize me unless I wore a hat. If I wear a hat, nobody recognizes me, right? But for some reason, these people did. Because we had talked, I think, on the show.
Yeah, you mentioned you're going to be there, so they had their
being there.
Little one eye peeled for the Barnard.
Of the 10 people I met that came up and recognized me and came over to say hello, and one of them kissed me on the lips, by the way, which was really interesting.
Wow,
it's
boundaries.
It's like, whoa.
Jeez.
So, but I have no sores have broken out or anything, have they? They're
Not yet.
Not yet.
wide
We'll wait
open.
a couple days.
We're good to go.
That'd be a quick drive by.
But this is the interesting part. And I don't think it's weird, but I think it's interesting that 8 of the 10 people who recognized me and came to say hello were women. Does that seem odd to you? I mean, it's at a Viking party. Women love the Vikings, all the rest of it. But I think that's pretty fascinating. Do you think partially is that nobody else would hire Brittany and we did, and therefore they forgive us?
There's a little bit of that.
Is that what it is?
As a community of women, we appreciate you employing this teen mom just trying to make it by.
Do you think it is because we do talk a lot about, like you talk about your husband, and Rudy talks a lot about his daughter. I talk constantly about my family. Do you think that women just like the fact that there's kind of a family element and we actually talk about loving one another?
I think that everything you're saying is probably in place. I think I've said this before, and I'll say this again. I think that you are somebody women feel more comfortable coming up to than men do.
There's no doubt about that. That's been my whole life.
So even if men did recognize you, and I'm sure we skew male, maybe we do. I don't actually know that. I don't know why
either.
I said that. I am so sorry. I'm just so used to coming from a classic rock background.
Right.
So that's why I said that. And I'm like, wait, I actually have no idea on this show. But anyways, I bet you that women would feel more comfortable. Obviously, they do. You had one come up and kiss you on the mouth.
She did.
We didn't get the gender on that one, though. So
it was a woman.
Okay, that was a lot of assumptions I made.
She was very, very sweet. Huge fan of you guys. Huge fan of the show.
I think women can see through the, because you have, and I have it too. We have a little bit of resting bitch face.
Yeah, I've come to understand that.
Yep,
Yes.
and that's fine. We're not shaming that. It's fine, but I don't think sometimes men can see through that as like you're just at a place of rest in your face.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this before. I think sometimes men would feel a little like, can I go up to him? And I think women see past all that and they're just like,
yeah, maybe.
Tom!
They were very, very, very sweet. They really were.
There's a sixth sense that women have about non-threatening.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Because there was an Instagram influencer that I had worked for before I came onto this show, and she's beautiful, hundreds of thousands of followers, and we would have to go shoot videos and do pictures and stuff, and she would always be wearing something very, skimpy. And her boyfriend one time was like, "Is it cool that this guy is just hanging out in the bedroom while you're getting changed?" And she's like, "Oh, what? Rudy? Oh, Rudy's more like a brother. He's totally not threatening. I would never have sex with him. Don't worry. I'm like, this is not a compliment, you guys.
That in.
I'm like, this is not a compliment. Could you stop talking about this?
You're like, if I had the chance, I would.
I'd never have sex with that guy.
He's pretty much a eunuch.
Yes.
Honest to God. Nice thing to say.
But you know what's so funny is I actually think of that as a huge compliment.
Well, it is, actually.
Because, I feel that way about you, but not because you're not, I don't mean to be rude, but you are a very attractive guy, but you have good boundaries. You've never been you and I have never been weird with each other. I would never, and I look at it as a huge compliment. But I understand how that kind of kills your vibe of
I was like, yeah, don't worry about it, man. I'll never have sex with your girl. Ever.
I don't even think it works. We did get a message from Stephanie. She said, shout out to Tom. Great chatting with you last night, and thanks for the beer. I'm the one who kissed you.
She was, yeah, Stephanie. What a sweetheart of a woman.
Oh, well,
she is
cool.
just, well, thanks, Stephanie. You're listening already. But no, it was so nice of all of you. But, Stephanie probably noticed this, that literally 8 of the 10 people that came up and talked to me and recognized me, which I don't even know how they do when I'm wearing a hat, but most people can't. But yeah, Stephanie, you all were so wonderful last night. Very, very pleasant. And thank God we have you listening to us. She goes, I'm the one that kissed
She wanted to claim you.
You're very funny, Stephanie.
I'm the one that kissed you.
We have to take a break because Sandy is coming up next. As you know, my friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of their life. He didn't stop by simply creating the best pillow. He created the Giza Dream Sheets, the bed sheets, of course. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, which is crucial for my busy schedule. Mike found the world's best cotton Giza. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. Mike's Giza sheets come with a 60-day money-back guarantee, a 10-year warranty. Giza Dream Sheets come in a variety of sizes and colors. Mike's latest incredible deal is the sale of the year. For a limited time, you'll receive 50% off the Giza Dream Sheets. You'll receive a set for as low as $29.98. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square, and use promo code TOM. There you'll find not only this amazing offer, but also deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the MyPillow 2.0 mattress topper, MyPillow towel sets, and so much more. Call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, or go to MyPillow.com. Make sure you use the promo code TOM.
What can Hubbard Interactive do for your business? Let's take a listen and find out what they did for one local company, Steve the Window Guy.
I'm Sally, and I'm a digital brand strategist here at Hubbard Interactive. We met with Melissa from Steve the Window Guy, and she was looking for help with their video advertising strategy. So we helped build a comprehensive plan for streaming TV and YouTube ads.
And Melissa, tell us how it's been getting your message out with help from Hubbard Interactive.
I've been working with them for 5 years, and what I've learned is that they have both the experience and the depth inside their team to help me solve any creative marketing challenge that I've got. So over the years, I've moved from radio ads to streaming TV to YouTube ads, and now we're moving towards SEO. And I'm loving the results that I'm seeing.
Is there anything else you want business owners out there to know about Hubbard Interactive?
I am so grateful for the entire team at Hubbard Interactive for effortlessly understanding our business and our marketing vision, and then always delivering only the best results.
To find out how our experts can help your business grow, get in touch today at hubbardinteractive.com.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialki from Bialki Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialki Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkilaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know when Sandy's ready to go. That'd be good.
Should be good to go.
I can't see him.
He doesn't put his video up.
Oh, for Christ's sake, Sansevier, you sugar tit.
All the way.
Why don't you put your... I want to look in your lovely Italian eyes. What about
Because unlike you, I didn't, gussy up. I just roll out of bed about 15 minutes ago.
So what, you big baby?
All right, I'll give you one quick look, and then it's going off again.
Okay, let me
Let's
see.
see.
Hold on a second. Wait a second.
Here we
How
go.
do you do this?
Sandy on camera.
3, 2,
There.
1. Whoa.
Oh, it's a little blurry, Bob. Got to be honest with you.
Honestly, I don't know why that's like that.
Bob,
I'm going to work on my camera.
We're going to get kicked off of YouTube for that. What's your problem?
What the hell is that?
I'm an orb. That's what it is.
Does that butt have eyes? What is that?
You should get that checked out.
Yeah, you really
What
should.
the heck is wrong? Well, that's I guess that's another reason why I don't use the camera.
I bet you the camera's like shoved up against a wall somewhere because
No, it's not. Well, work on that. Sorry.
Just
Okay, I'll take it off so
colonoscopy.
you don't-
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
There you
That's
got
what it
a
looks
polyp.
like.
There. All right. That's a better looking orb.
You're a wonderful man. There's no question about it, ladies and gentlemen. Well, what's great about it is that the young people listening learned a lesson that you can't trust Italians. So that's good.
Yeah.
It's true.
Hey, I know why all those women came up to you.
Why?
Because they find you quite fetching.
Is that what it is? Yeah, okay. That's what I ran by Catherine last night, and she went, yeah, sure, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Sansevier brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyer seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Bob Sansevier Sports brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant. I got to tell you something about our buddy, not just your buddy, but our buddy, Michael Bryant. Okay, Bob?
Yep.
Catherine and I have been watching the show. I just happened upon it one day watching streaming. I didn't know anything about it. I never heard of it. But I thought, it looks like it might be kind of interesting. It's a Canadian show by a guy named Burtt. He wrote it, stars in it, produced it, did everything with it. It's hilarious. And when you watch that show, because it goes back, I think, all the way to about 2000, something like that, or maybe close to it, you will see so many shows that show inspired. You ain't going to believe it. Corner Gas is one of the funniest shows going right now. And it literally did open the door for a lot of different kinds of comedy. Like, I'm serious. Schitt's Creek was definitely inspired by Corner Gas. There's no doubt about it.
Aww.
No question. So I tell Michael Bryant about it. We're talking about it. He goes, okay, I'll watch it. He calls me last night. This is 3 days ago that I told him about it. 3 days ago. Or Catherine actually is the one that told him about it, okay? 3 days ago. He's already watched the first 4 seasons. I'm not kidding. He's already watched the first 4 seasons of a 6-season show.
Does Michael Bryant have more hours in the day than us?
I don't think he sleeps well.
I don't think he does either. Because, first off, if you want a lawyer, you go to him. He will text you back immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Anything I have, he'll just be like, boop. And then he's traveling all over the place.
All the time, yeah.
And then I can't even watch a show a night. And here he is. How?
I got it. I don't want to get off screen here, but I'm trying to figure. I think there are like 16 episodes per season too, maybe even 18, but I might be wrong about that. But that means he's watched 64 of them in 3 days, 20 a day.
How?
He has the constitution of a vampire. I mean, he does never sleep.
I
don't know. Text from him in the middle of the night.
I know.
Oh yeah.
When I was on the morning show, he'd randomly be like, "Hey, send something out at like 4 a.m." And I was always like, "Why are you up?"
It's true. Rudy's staring at something in there. What are you staring at?
Oh no, I'm just taking a look at the Vikings draft picks. I know Bob at some point was going to bring it up. I haven't. I haven't gotten myself. I don't have the information on it. I don't want to look like an idiot. So,
a wide receiver,
wide out. Yeah.
What do you think, Bob?
Well, Jordan, I'll tell you what Michael Bryan thinks because he texted me right after.
There you go. There he is.
Yeah.
Small and slow would have gone D. Okay, he was the. I don't have a problem with this at all. I am a little perplexed why they didn't go quarterback when Will Levis was there and this Hendon Hooker was there. Maybe they'll try to do something. They don't have a second-round pick, but it would mean packaging players and draft picks for next year to get into the second round for one of these guys. And by the way, don't ever, and you could say this every year, don't waste your time following mock drafts.
Oh, yeah.
When you look around, Mel Kiper, who essentially came up with the whole mock draft concept, he had Will Levis going 4th overall to the Colts.
Oh.
And the guy slid out of the first round. So, maybe they don't think either one is the guy, but they better find somebody for 2024. As for Addison, I think it's a really good pick. There were 4 guys, and you almost could have looked at it as threw them up in the air, and whatever way it landed, it would have been fine to get Jordan Addison as the first receiver, or the second or the third in that group of 4 in a row. Here's the thing about him. He doesn't drop the ball, and he is a terrific receiver. And he had a 4.49, but the term he plays faster than that, he does, because he does get separation and he does get open. And he was a really good, when you have Justin Jefferson on the other side or on the field with him, this kid's got to pick up a lot of receptions. Now, did any of you see what he was wearing when he came out on stage?
No.
It was a pink flecked suit, had the thick white glasses on, sunglasses. And here's the one thing. I mean, he said, he opened up his jacket. One guy, Zay Flowers, opened up, it was photos of his family, right?
Oh.
Inside his jacket. Inside the jacket of Vikings pick Jordan Addison was dollar bills and money, and he said on stage, "Let's go get paid."
Oh, God.
So that's the one thing you worry a little bit about.
There you go. Right. Well, who was
flamboyant?
What was a quarterback's name that had a suit made out of dollar bills or $50 bills? Remember that suit?
Oh, yeah.
Dante Culpepper.
Dante Culpepper. Yeah, that's right.
He would wear them after games.
Yeah.
When he'd show
Suit
up,
made
after
of
he
money.
just got throttled. He's got his dollar bill jacket on.
God, it was ridiculous.
See, who are the people advising these, these players? That I have no problem with the way he plays, but I maybe a little concerned with, the whole "let's go get paid."
I know. Well, money, 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 money. That's all they ever see on TV, and that's all they ever see in politics. So that's all people care about is you got to vote for me, and I'll give you some money. That's what they care about.
Now, I'm guessing he probably wishes he got drafted by a team in a more marketable city.
Yeah.
Because this is not known. How often over the years have you seen Vikings players in national ads?
Hardly ever.
No, you really don't. So if he gets paid, he'll get paid what you would get paid for being the 23rd pick. It's pretty obvious. I mean, there's not like I'll make a deal. I'll get the best deal in the draft. It doesn't work that way. It's all slotted.
He's going to look great in that suit at Pizza Ranch, right, Bob?
Oh, there you go.
Okay, Rudy, can you call it up and show them and let them see it? Do you share the same screen?
Oh, actually, yeah, I can show that. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, I can.
What are we looking at
now?
now?
See the suit that he wore.
Oh, that guy last night?
Suit. Yeah, Jordan Addison. And he also, he's some people think that he's not small. I mean, he's not gigantic, but he's probably over 6 foot in the right pair of shoes. He's listed at 5'11", which means he's probably about 5'9", but he's not thick either, 173 pounds, but it doesn't matter. If he gets open, which he did in college, and he makes catches, which he did in college, he's going to be fine. He's not going to be a washout.
Do you know what
There are
pisses
guys
me off,
that are,
Bob?
but I don't think he will be.
You know what pisses me off?
What?
I was wondering where my suit went, and now I know.
Oh, you're looking at it?
Yeah, I'm looking at the suit he stole from me. Look at that suit. That thing is bright pink, baby. That's a bright pink suit.
Yeah, and the glasses are the finishing touch.
Oh, yeah, there are the glasses. I'm looking at them right now. Really a good look, no
I
question.
think the suit actually is sharp.
Well, there's one picture
That's
that
what I'm saying.
I don't have it on that screen. I have another picture on this one. I can't show you guys, but it's him standing like in front of the step and repeat, and he's got his suit open, and on the inside are
the
all
money.
the dollar bills.
Oh, there's a
and I
shock.
can't find that photo for some reason.
Well, I mean, besides the dollar bill part, I think his suit is quite sharp.
What was funny is Melissa Stark is the woman who interviews him after they get picked.
Mm-hmm.
She had basically the same color pink on. Looks like they were going to the prom.
That's hilarious. So who drafted him?
The Vikings.
We drafted him?
Oh, I thought you heard me. Yeah, that's your pick.
Jesus. Oh, no.
Oh, I just didn't bring him up because of his suit.
Oh, no. Another one that the Vikings, well, hopefully he's a superstar because I guarantee he's a pain in the ass. That I can guarantee you.
Well, yes, he could, but he's not going to come in here being the star.
No, he's not.
You know,
that's very.
not
And that's
with Justin
why.
Jefferson.
Let me ask you a question about that, Bob. If you're Justin Jefferson, you go, you'd rather this guy that I'm not enough. You need this guy too.
Oh, they do need. No. This is
I know they do, but
the whole theory is a good one because it will take some heat off of him. Actually, it'll open things up.
I hope so.
Potentially more for Justin Jefferson.
But I have seen it before when somebody's the star running back or the star quarterback or the star wide receiver, and you bring in another supposed star. They don't like that very much. They just don't handle it well.
Well, he's going to get. He being Justin Jefferson, he will get paid. He's
No,
going
he
to
will.
make
Yeah, you're
huge
right.
dough. He'll probably get more money than any wide receiver in the league, so he doesn't have to worry about that. And they'll give him, the whole team is going to give him a lot of love.
Yeah, that's good.
What's funny is 3-4 minutes before the draft, they went to the Vikings draft room, and Ziggy's walking around like they had their pick taken away, and you're wondering what is going on.
What is
But then they're all happy afterwards. So I don't understand why he may not have liked the pick. He may have wanted a quarterback.
Yeah,
and again, I'm just wondering if that's what he was thinking. Quarterback would have made sense in that pick, but if they don't like either of these two top guys, well, there's other quarterbacks, but Hendon Hooker and Will Levis, taking either one of it would have been a huge pick and celebrated locally. Here, I really think the people are divided. I happen to think he's going to be good. The suit aside, other people think it's a terrible pick. But he
some of
can
them
play.
do.
There's no question.
All right. I'm following your lead on this, Bob. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we also have to. I actually like the fact that Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, the GM, didn't trade the pick.
Right,
to stockpile more picks. So that tells you he really did like him, and they didn't. But again, the quarterback. If you're a Vikings fan, you have to go through the most of the day here hoping he could put together a deal, but it will involve giving away draft picks next year because you don't have much to give away this year.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this is where Dalvin Cook comes into play. That you find a team that would take him to or some other guys with that are going to hurt or still hurting your salary cap.
And he is
it's not done.
He did not have a good year last year either.
No, he didn't. And they gave good money to Alexander Madison to stay.
Right.
So this will be, if Cook is here, and I don't think he will be, it will be more of a split backfield situation.
All right, Sandy, another brilliant report. It's good to see you, Bob.
Your twins, by the way, they didn't do too bad. 7-1.
7-1 kicking Kansas City's ass. Good. Glad to see it.
Oh, and do you want me to Kristyn Burtt, best ever? There you go.
That's right. There it is. She's laughing right now. You want to say hi to Kristyn?
Sure.
Kristyn,
Hi, Bob.
How are you? Hey, did you see the Foreman movie yet? Because I do want to see it. Am I wasting my time?
It's good. I think it could have been better. I mean, it gives you the story in a very simplistic way. I don't think it could have done a little bit more of a deep dive. But I'd watch it if you're looking for something to do this weekend.
Now, Tom, if I could ask you one last question. Tom was swarmed by women last night, and I think it's because they find him quite fetching.
Yeah,
do you agree with that?
Go.
Of course Tom is fetching.
See?
Nice
Told
try.
you.
Nice try from both of you. That's all I have to say.
Now
Meanwhile,
I need to hear about this, the women swarming you.
Well,
I can see, Tom, I'm sorry, but I can see Brittany, and I said you're fetching. She's got her hand in her chin in her hand.
She does. She got her chin in her hand. Oh, my God.
I already got an email that I can't wait to tell you about.
I'm sorry, then I'm going. I'll see you guys later.
Bye,
Thanks,
Bob.
Annie.
Love you.
Have a good weekend, Bob.
It's my theory about men not coming up to you. Tom, who's a big listener of our show, said, let Tommy know I saw him at Grandparents' Day and chose not to kiss him on the lips.
Yeah, well, there you go.
See?
Yeah, we were over at the kids' school. I'm going again today. That was Fawny's Day yesterday, and today is Sage's Day. We're going to that again. Well, that's Tom. Thank you very much. Very nice of you. We have a couple of sports guys on the show. They come on, and in the third hour of the show, Phil Mackey and Judd Zulgad from Skor North, which is on the Hubbard network, right? Mm-hmm. So I tend to support my workers. Like, Rudy, we talk about where he's going to appear and what's going to be going on and what he's got going. And Brittany's too boring, so we don't talk about her.
I just ask for money. I don't need support.
I just
steal
money.
your Diet Pepsis.
So I went to support them back. I was backstage. Walking through the place. The place was packed, and I mean, you couldn't have gotten another person in that bar. And it's a huge bar.
How cool is that?
It is really great that it happened. But the interesting thing, and maybe we'll get your take on this, of the 10 people I did talk to that came up and said hello, 8 of them were women. Do you think that's unusual?
No, why would it be unusual?
Well, I mean, I've always been kind of known as a classic rock guy, a big sports guy, kind of a guy deal. Maybe I've lost the touch. Is that what it is?
I don't, but obviously you haven't lost your ladies' touch.
I don't know. When we're,
Ladies' touch.
it was funny, and I talked about it on the show. I said, one of them even kissed me goodbye on the lips. And so Stephanie's, she writes in the morning, that was me, Tom. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, to be fair, we actually have audio of one of the women from last night.
Here we
Tom, you're so handsome.
That's one of the women right there. Could we hear her voice again?
Tom, you're so handsome.
Yeah, there it is right there. She has got I think she's got a sore throat.
Mm-hmm, that's what it is, and an Adam's apple, but also a sore throat.
Adam's apple, yeah.
Also, I love that, Catherine and I are so the same person because...
Well, you are.
Well,
God.
because you were like, well, all these women came up to me and kissed me on the lips. She's like, good for you. That's great. Like, that would be the same way I respond to my husband.
Oh, absolutely it would be. No question.
Wow. I hope that, that's great.
So,
Kristyn, that works out for you.
Yeah, right?
Kristyn, I have one of those lives where I have my wife, my daughter, Brittany, and a couple other women run my whole life. I get no say in anything. Just here, Tom. Here's your lunch bag.
Go make some money.
Go make some money, or what the hell ever it is. I don't know.
That's good.
It's
Isn't
something.
that the right way? The women control it all, and you go off and do the work.
Well, it's interesting about that, though, and we talked about that as well, that I was raised by women, my older sisters and my mother, and mostly, a lot of times, not mostly, but a lot of times by my sisters because my mom was at work. So I've always depended on women for support. That's kind of interesting, isn't it?
That's actually great.
It is great for me.
Modern world, honestly.
Yeah. That's why, we get a laugh. Well, Rudy, from one of the first times we ever talked about, listeners and all that stuff, he said some guy claimed that I was a misogynist. How the hell would you ever come to the conclusion that I'm a misogynist? I like women much more than I like men.
You make lots of jokes, but we just throw it right back at you.
Well, exactly. I make jokes with you. It means I like you. If I don't joke with you, it means I don't like you. Like, if I'm always nice to you, I don't like you. That's just how it is, right? I mean, a lot of people are like that.
I'm used to it. I've had 11, 12 years of, It's perfect.
Your crap.
I know. I have to say, I loved Catherine on Twitter when she was talking about you seeing Cocaine Bear. She called you Sir Crab-a-Lot.
Sir Crab-a-Lot.
And I meant to drop that yesterday. I thought that was fabulous.
Such support I get from that lovely woman.
all the women in your life love you.
No, thank God. I love them back. There's no question about that. And it's not that I don't get along with guys, but I thought it was kind of interesting. And because the number was 8 out of 10 people, that's why I even know. Like, it would have been 50-50. I would have went, yeah, well, that's fine, whatever. I mean, it's not fine. It's not that it's not fine anyway. I just found it really interesting that if I'm supposed to be this crabby, hard shell, anti this and anti that, women always respond. I kind of like a dad. It's not a guy thing. It's more like a dad thing, I think. Does that make sense?
I'm telling you, I think women can see through your fake crabbiness when you have your.
Not Catherine, apparently. Sir Crab a lot.
Oh, okay, yeah, well, yeah, but like I think that there's, we talked about that, like that when your face is at rest and you're kind of walking in a straight line.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times people have tasked me with giving you news. Like, hey, and I'm like, will you go tell Tom this? And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Like, what? And I don't get, I don't get, you and I have bickered back and forth for over 10 years. Yeah.
10 years at 15, 12, whatever it is.
And so it's like just funny to me where I'm like, yeah, even when people will be like, what's Tom really like? And I'm like, he's Tom. He's Tom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're like, well, has he ever? No, well, no. What do you know what I mean? Like, it's just funny. So I think women see through your facade of big,
we see
bad,
your
angry.
soft center.
The soft side. That's from my mother and my sisters.
Heart.
That's where it came from, my mother and my sisters. There's no question about it. So we did see Cocaine Bear. It was funny. There's no question about that. And then we've been watching, was it The Mayor of Kingstown? Is that the name of it?
Yes, with Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, Jeremy Renner. That is Is there anything that Taylor Sheridan's not writing? Does he write everything now?
A lot.
Oh
I'm hearing that there's, especially where there's been with Yellowstone, like, is Kevin Costner coming back?
Right.
I'm hearing that there's a lot of heads being butted on. That's why we haven't seen Kevin Costner like quickly sign on the dotted line to go and get that second half of season 5 made. But, and Taylor's under a lot of pressure because he's essentially carrying Paramount Plus on his back right now.
Yep. There's no doubt about it. And look, I like them both, to tell you the truth. Kevin Costner used to come on the morning show about once a year. Really nice guy. Really tremendously nice guy.
But behind the scenes, challenging.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
so
has a
Brittany
reputation. I think he's a perfectionist. He's someone who also is a director and a writer. So, he's going to have that eye that, someone who's just an actor isn't going to necessarily have. And I think that Yellowstone's a tough show to make, and Kevin Costner has ideas, Taylor Sheridan has ideas, and they don't always match.
Yeah. Are they going to be able to work that out, do you think?
They are trying, but right now, I mean, this was supposed to already be coming our way, in the next couple of months. They keep on saying fall. At this point, they have not shot a single scene for the second half of season 5. I have a feeling it's going to bleed into 2024 at this point.
Do you think they will come because they've done, 1883 and 1923? Do you think they will because it was the year that Kennedy was assassinated? Do you think they'll go with a 1963, just those 40-year gaps?
I hope so, honestly.
I do too.
It's a year that's like rich with history. Even just besides the historical event with President Kennedy, you also the fashions, the music, the civil unrest. I mean, there's so much there that I think that is a perfect way to sort of, do that 40-year gap all the time. And if you see the pattern, it's likely there. That's
what I'm thinking, is that next going to be 1963, because it did change the United States. There's no doubt about that.
My mom talks about that a lot. She goes, I always think about, because she was a kid when Kennedy was assassinated. And she goes, I always think about what our world would have been like had he lived.
Boy, I'll tell you a quick one, and I won't say the kid's name, even though I do remember his name. We're sitting at St. Anne's School in the 7th grade in 1963, because it was announced that he had been shot. And we're sitting in class, and the nun, I won't even say her name because I don't, she walks in the room and she goes, boys and girls, I have an announcement to make, and, it's going to be tough to hear. The President Kennedy has died, and one of the kids cheered. You cheered a Catholic president being assassinated in a Catholic school? That didn't go over too well, no. I'll tell you that.
I don't care who I voted for. I would not cheer any president getting assassinated. I don't care who it is. It's not great for the country. period.
Let me put it this way. She had a pretty good right hand. Wham! Slapped him right across the face. Something you could never do anymore. There's no question. But I will never forget him cheering that Kennedy, a Catholic president, had been assassinated.
It's really interesting because I grew up in Massachusetts, and the lore of the Kennedys growing up there still exists.
Oh yeah.
You feel like the presence of the Kennedys at all times, and they're considered, they're local personalities, but you have your own version of like Camelot within Massachusetts. It's fascinating.
Well, that's one of the reasons I like to hang out on Palm Beach once in a while, because it's the only place in the United States that ever kicked the entire Kennedy family off the island and told them not to come back.
Don't do it.
That's fascinating. Well, Ted used to drop his pants over at one of the bars over there all the time. It's a great restaurant. It's changed its name, of course. But he would literally also just drop his pants right in the restaurant.
And then take home half of the female clientele with him that night.
That's pretty much it, from what I understand, yes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Now that he's no longer with us.
I know you're only in 7th grade, but how do you come to the decision that it's a good idea to cheer the death of a Catholic president in a Catholic school?
You learn something at home.
Well, to be fair, there was actually Lyndon Johnson's grandson who cheered. So
it was. Okay, so now that he's president.
Yes, very happy about that.
Now that he was president, everything's much better. No question. Remember what Johnson used to do, by the way? Do you know about this story? What he would do when he would meet with people in the Oval Office? He would always go to the bathroom. Always, apparently, from what I've been told people. You know this story, Rudy?
I don't, but I heard he was a son of a bitch.
Oh, what an asshole. He would literally, fellas, just stay seated right here. I'll be right back. I'm just going to run to the bathroom real quickly. He would go in, be in there for like 10 minutes. He would come out and summon everyone to look at the turd he left in the toilet.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
He would be HR'd now.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Is he the president that had all those tapes that they recorded of him, like, just
talking smack about people?
and like also just like really embarrassing. I know this is like bad because I'm sure we all whatever, but it was like, yeah, the inseam of my pants busted again. I need to like it was just like
about his. You talk about his wiener, you mean?
Yes.
All the time.
Yes,
Yeah, all
and like
the time.
talking about like it was like so weird the
Yep.
obsession he had with it.
A big obsession with his penis.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I'd heard anyway. Never met the man myself, but that's the way it goes. The only thing I remember about President Johnson is he decided it would be a good idea for people receiving welfare for the father not to be allowed in the house. You're defeating the exact reason there is welfare, you dumb son of a bitch. You support the whole family until they rise up and we're all still together. By taking dad out, you made it worse. Isn't that amazing that people do things like that?
Crazy.
How stupid are they? So what else is coming up, Kristyn? Cheer me up now. Now that I'm pissed off at Lyndon Johnson.
I think this is kind of interesting. This is right up your alley because you're always like, what's happening with movies? What's happening with the theaters?
Right.
A national research group did this fascinating study on Hollywood and superstars. I mean, we're talking about movie stars. And they asked people, who do you want to watch in a theater? Who do you most want to watch in a theater? So just like, who would be the first person to get you guys to go to a theater?
Marlon Brando. Does that count?
Okay. No, he has to be alive right now.
He or she. God, who would? There are a lot of really good actors right now. There's no question about it. Who would it be? Do you guys know? Because I can't, off the top of my head, come up with one person because there are a lot of people that I really like.
But there's got to be like one person you're like, they've got a new movie. I don't care whether it's a comedy or a drama. I'm going.
There are, and I can't think of them. I know there are, but I cannot think of them right now.
I don't think I have somebody like that. Like, I know there are people who are, I'm happy they're in movies. Like, I'm excited that Margot Robbie is in the Barbie movie because I love Margot Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
But would I go to, I don't think I'm one of those fans that would go to anyone. Like, if there's not an actor or an actress where I'm like, no matter the content, I'm going to go.
Oh, I thought of somebody.
Who?
Now I forgot his name again. Damn it. What the hell's his name?
Rudy?
Older British actor. What the hell's his name again?
Oh,
Anthony Hopkins?
Anthony Hopkins. That's exactly right.
All right.
I love him. I think he's a magnificent actor. Had him on the show once on the telephone. Was very soft-spoken. Very.
Did you serve him Chianti and fava beans?
And fava beans, exactly. That's a hell of a movie right there.
Clarice.
But yeah, I would guess Anthony Hopkins, I think, would be somebody like
Anthony
that.
Hopkins, Margot Robbie, maybe. Rudy, how about you?
Real quick, I just wanted to bring up Anthony Hopkins. Did you ever see him in Proof with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yes.
Movie sucked. That's the only movie I've ever watched him in where I'm like, I can't.
That's
I can't
interesting you bring that up.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm sorry, I was looking up some Lyndon Johnson stuff. You're talking about people that you have to go see in a film?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
He's
number
works
one.
hard.
Okay, so here's the thing. He is number one on the list. So, but the big problem with this list is Hollywood's not cranking out movie stars anymore because everybody in the top 20 is over the age of 40 at this point. Actually, Chris Hemsworth is the only one. He's turning 40 this year. So ready? I'm going to get my glasses on so I can read this. Tom Cruise. The Rock is number 2. Tom Hanks, Brad Pitt, Denzel Washington, Julia Roberts, Will Smith, Leonardo DiCaprio, you've got Johnny Depp, Kevin Hart, Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, Ryan Reynolds, Adam Sandler, Harrison Ford, George Clooney. I mean, you're looking at this list, everybody is Robert Downey Jr., Angelina Jolie, Morgan Freeman, and Chris Hemsworth. Mm-hmm. So the point of the study is they're realizing that Hollywood has not created movie stars basically in the last 15 years. And that's kind of right around the age of social media. Mm-hmm. And it has changed the game for the movie theaters. Yep. And you look at some of the Gen Z stars, like Zendaya and Tom Holland and Timothée Chalamet, they fall way further down on the list. So theater owners, studios should be taking a hard look at this and realizing that they need to not only just craft movie stars, but find unique movies for them to star in. Because if you go to Julia Roberts, she became famous because of Pretty Woman. Yeah. You know, you look at these movies, Tom Cruise, maybe it was, I mean, he had a lot of Top Gun obviously was a unique property at the time. Like the movies that are going to make stars break out in Hollywood, they're not doing that anymore.
Can I mention somebody who died a long time ago, but when she was alive, I would never miss a movie Audrey Hepburn was in.
Oh,
she was phenomenal. God, what a talent. You know she spoke 6 or 7 languages? Did you know that?
I did. She's very smart. She was
very
the UN
smart
ambassador
woman.
Before celebrities thought it was cool to be a UN ambassador.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, she was brilliant. Keanu Reeves I really liked too. You mentioned him. You know, Keanu Reeves, again, he's been on the show a few times, just a really nice guy. If people come on and they tend to be very nice, but not in a phony way, I just became a fan, you know?
Keanu's considered like the nicest man in Hollywood.
Very nice guy. Terrifically nice. Matter of fact, we had a guy making fun of him during one of the calls, and he thought it was hilarious. He's got a great attitude. It was the Chucker, of course. What a shock. The Chucker went after Keanu Reeves.
Well, and if anyone remembers, earlier this year, Matthew Perry came out with a memoir. It might have even been late last year, and he made fun of Keanu Reeves. Yep. He's just announced that when the paperback version comes out, he's taking out that comment.
Good.
Because he said, because I think it was Chris Farley died, and he's like, of all people, like, why did it have to be Chris Farley? Why couldn't it have been Keanu Reeves? And you're like, not even funny. Like, everybody loves Keanu.
Mm-hmm. It's not funny about anybody, though. I wish you had died. Really?
Keanu?
What an a-hole.
Yeah, well, exactly. Everyone, all of a sudden you go, oh, that's Matthew Perry in a nutshell.
Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? You're absolutely right. The crabby bastard. All right, well, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
See you all on Monday.
Thank you, my dear. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristyn Burtt. Is it okay that I call her my dear? I know I didn't even realize I was doing that. But now that I've been doing it so much, I think I'm just going to continue to do it. What do you think?
I think it's perfect.
Because a lot of times, you don't know her. You can't say that to her. It's like, shut up.
You'll be fine.
Can we start punching people in the solar plexus again?
Nope.
Why
not? One of our listeners says Jeremy Renner's on his list.
Phenomenal. Jeremy Renner is terrific.
And that was Howard. Kim said Jason Statham. She doesn't care. She likes anything he does.
Yeah.
And then if you Google Johnson and bunghole, there's a great clip on YouTube of President Johnson ordering a pair of pants. He said he needs to cover his bunghole.
That's what I found.
That's the rabbit hole you were in? Yeah.
I'll play that for you guys, but we got to go to break first.
Yeah.
We'll play that after the break.
You're absolutely right. We'll begin the next hour with bunghole talk.
Yep.
She goes, yep.
Well, I'm in.
We'll be right back.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialke from Bialke Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialki Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkilaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
Tom here. Why should your business work with my friends at North American Banking Company? Here's Minnesota hockey legend Winnie Brown of OS Hockey.
North American Banking Company has really allowed our business to grow over the years because whenever we have a question, we have the convenience of being able to walk in, or we know exactly who to call to get things done.
To learn more about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com, or visit any one of their Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. We are back. Man, did we burn through that first hour? Holy Hannah.
Killing it.
Mm-hmm. That went by very, very quickly. This show does go by very quickly for me, though.
Well,
it doesn't drag.
This last break feel like it ticked by because I was very excited about the bunghole news.
Oh, yes, that's right. We've got bunghole. What is that now? What is it?
So this is LBJ. He's on the phone ordering slacks from Hager Slacks.
Oh, God.
Here you go.
I need about 6 pairs for summer wear. Another thing, the crotch down where your nuts hang is always a little too tight. So when you make them up, give me an inch that I can let out there because they cut me. They're just like riding a wire fence. These are the best that I've had anywhere in the United States. But when I gain a little weight, they cut me under there. So leave me, you never do have much margin there. Let's see if you can't leave me about an inch from where the zipper in, around under my, back to my bunghole. What? So now, be sure you got the best zippers in them. These are good that I have. And if you get those to me, I would sure be grateful. Where would you like to send, please? The White House.
The White House? Maybe you heard of it?
White House.
Jeez.
Let me tell you, it rides up my bunghole. What?
So I heard actually, it was so funny. The first time I heard that was on NPR. They were playing all these tapes, and I was dying laughing. And then, can you imagine having such disrespect for somebody? You burp straight in the receiver of the phone.
What a prick.
That is so, I cannot imagine. It's just so bad.
I had always heard he was a terrible person. I don't know. You guys hear that same thing, that Johnson was not a great guy?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
what did he mean? You got to do something with the back of my bunghole. What? Wouldn't that be your tailbone?
Feels like I'm riding a fence.
Wire fence.
Wire fence, yeah.
Well, you can even hear the guy on the other end of the phone. He's like, yep, yep, yeah. Like, just get me off the phone with this jerk.
Where do I get him sent?
True.
The White House.
The White House, of course. Let me... Yeah, good, thank you.
I know. I cannot imagine having so much just casual disrespect for somebody. I burp straight in the receiver.
Although, I had a friend, and he never did it in your face. He told you he was going to do it.
Yeah.
He could burp for so long, he could use his burp as a voice.
Interesting.
He would go like, I was downstairs yesterday. And he'd be burping the whole time.
I'm so bad. It's so funny that you even said the word burp. Because usually, there's two things I'm bad at, is fake fart sounds and fake burp sounds. And so whenever I, fart, that's my version.
That's it?
Fart.
You can't just put your lips together and blow? You can't do that?
That doesn't sound like a fart, though.
You can't do that.
Fart.
Get your lips moving.
I'll work on it.
Right now.
No.
I'm not doing any more of the show until you can do a fart sound.
I will not make our listeners listen to me practice making fake fart.
I said we will. Oh, Jesus, sorry. See, there you go. That's all you need to hear right there. That's how you get it done right there, sister. You know what I'm saying. Who was that black comedian again that was phenomenal at doing sound effects?
There was Michael Winslow.
Michael Winslow.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That
Police
guy.
Academy.
Police Academy.
Yeah.
Beep, boop, bop, beep, boop. Nailed it.
He was really good at that. Where'd he go? Did he disappear?
He's stand-up.
Really?
Oh, he does do stand-up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, he does he'll do a brewery in Cedar Falls, Iowa.
Oh, I bet people get a kick out of it.
Yeah, he's not selling out zanies in Nashville or anything, but people dig him. It's nostalgic. The Midwest loves him. Absolutely, yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to see like a whole set, but like a clip would be I'd be fine with.
Mm-hmm.
He does some interesting sound effects. There's no doubt about that. There's no question. When's your next deal? Now are you going out of town for a few days, or are you doing just Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
It'll be the next gig I have in town. I'm doing what's called Don't Tell Comedy. Mm-hmm. So you buy tickets, but they don't tell you who is headlining and who is going to be where the show is going to be. So they've had people like Michael Shea, they've had Chad Daniels. They always get some big names. So I'm going to be opening that show. That's May 12th, the Friday before Mother's Day.
Are we allowed to tell people that you're opening?
I can say that it's Don't Tell Comedy because people have to go and buy the tickets, but you don't know who and where it is until the day of the show.
Like, do we know it's going to be just like in Minneapolis?
Yes, it'll be in Minneapolis. Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 different spots that they have. But I have that, and then after that is May 19th and 20th. I'll be in Oklahoma City opening for Adam Carolla.
And is that Friday and Saturday?
Yep, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday.
Okay, so are you going to be on that Friday, or do you have to leave?
Yeah, so I won't be on that Friday. I have to leave that day. So we had AJ covering for us that day.
I've decided, so there's been a lot of, Rudy's been kind of killing it this week. And so I've decided I'm going to start sabotaging him.
Good idea.
He's getting a little too big for us. And that's problematic because I like Rudy on this show quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to start sending Carolla emails. I'm going to figure it out. Like, I'm sure it's just like me@Carolla.com. I'll figure it out.
Sure.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And sabotaging him because everything he's been doing this week is like he edits our videos. He's Eggert heard him on a commercial yesterday and sent us a text. Like
that's his job.
He's getting too big for us, and I'm scared he's gonna leave us.
What is wrong with you?
I got a contract with Hubbard that says I ain't going anywhere.
All right, good to know.
I'm here for a while.
So I won't sabotage you? Is that what you're saying?
Please don't.
All right, fine.
What a mental case you are.
I was going to start online slander. I know.
Why do you do that?
Because I'm working on it.
Because you're a disaster.
I want us to keep Rudy. He's opening for Carolla.
He'll be fine. So good. That's a good thing.
That's great.
How is that negative?
He's flying too close to the sun.
For Christ's sake.
We can't lose him.
Okay, whatever.
Don't worry, I've been sabotaging you all this whole time, too.
That's all you've ever done, to tell you the truth. Here's some tips to help you stop reaching for your phone the moment you wake up. I never do. Do you reach for your phone the moment you wake up?
Absolutely, I do.
I do not ever.
Absolutely, I do.
As a matter of fact, I guarantee you someday when I do retire and go away, I don't think I'm going to carry a phone anymore.
That'd be amazing.
I don't think I will. I just don't like it.
Not having a phone with you, I had when I was deployed, is so beautiful.
It is. It's wonderful.
But you won't ever because you're too scared you're going to miss an emergency call.
No, I'm going to get a beeper.
Okay, cool.
Do they still make beepers?
Throwback.
I don't even know if they make those anymore.
Could you imagine us trying to beep you and have to put in numbers and stuff? I'd be so annoyed. Call this number.
No, I don't know. It's just there's too much. The thing that I really hate the most about having a phone is the second you use it one time to purchase something, or your phone, I mean, on the internet, all I get now are people asking me for money for their business. They come and buy our this, come and buy our that.
Yeah.
I told you, I bought that book that a friend of mine's wife wrote.
Yeah,
and
it's
about the sex one. Every day I get nothing but F me today. It's like, thanks.
Hey, Tommy, you want some extra loving tonight? I don't know.
Exactly.
Is that not a good
that was a
sexual
really good
line?
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think, Tom? Can I come over?
Can I touch your crotch?
Right behind my bunghole, just like President LBJ. That's where it'll be.
To answer your question, Tom, 2 million pagers still in service in the United States.
2 million?
Do you have to do a monthly fee for those?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a website called pagersdirect.net, which is one of the leading pager services in the United States.
What's the monthly plan on that, you think?
I don't know, $20 maybe?
God, it'd be great again.
I know. I feel like everybody's at like $100 a month for cell phones. It's something crazy. It feels crazy.
Mine's $300.
Whoa, but you have more people on your.
$300.
Not just for you though.
No, it's just for one line. That's
you,
all
Catherine,
there is
and
to it.
Jude all have a phone.
Giovanni Ribisi, somebody texted and said, talk about favorite actors. Mm-hmm. Giovanni Ribisi is really good.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, yeah, you do. You'd know him if you saw him.
Yeah, you totally would.
You absolutely would know him if you saw him.
Oh, yeah,
Really
he's great.
He's terrific.
Oh, he's so good.
Okay, let me see if I got any filthy stuff that I could read through here so far. Nothing. I just cleaned it out a while ago, though, so
Let's get an insight into your dirty, dirty inbox.
Oh, here's some. Okay, so I got Major League Baseball, Isogenics, Southwest Airlines, and Facebook. Happy birthday, Karen. So all I get are ads. That's all I ever get, and it's driving me. I hate it. It's very intrusive, I think. You find it intrusive?
If you look through right now, if you look in through the inbox of any guy over the age of 37, you would think everyone has erectile dysfunction.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no doubt about it.
Mine, too. Look, Google's convinced I also have ED.
ED?
Yeah, so I'm working on that.
Yeah,
I do have a hard time getting it up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for Christ's sake, really? Oh, my God. There just went
I've had
all of
almost
us.
no movement down there in 36 years.
First service, complete vision. I should get my eyes worked on. Go
to your spam. Go to your
media
spam.
deal.
Let's see your spam.
On which one?
Gmail.
On Gmail?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll go to
gotta
my
back up
spam.
to the top. Okay, my spam has nothing in it.
Oh.
Nothing. I don't know. See that right there, spam?
I got 86 for spam.
Well, I clean mine out every day, though.
I will say your inbox is very, very tidy.
Who, mine?
Yeah, yours.
How do you know that?
Well, because when I have to go in there and help you out with like getting the StreamYard stuff, I see that your inbox, because I'll send you the email and then you'll open your inbox and the only email in there is the one that I just sent.
Yeah, I cannot put up with all that garbage on my phone. I just can't do it.
Okay, well, this is going to give you anxiety.
Oh, don't. Do you
right,
have like 100 or something?
I just deleted and then reset my Gmail, and right now I have 7,856 unread messages. In our work email, I have 156 unread messages.
You're a monster.
Yeah, Yep.
I have 0 in my work, 23 in my Gmail. That you're a monster, and I will clean mine out by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and my sister, every time I see 1,000+ on your little icons, your little, badges or whatever, makes me anxious.
Yeah.
Well, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if I walk into someone's house and I just see like a pile of envelopes that should have been thrown out 3 weeks ago, I'm like, that person's got a clogged inbox.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
No question. Back to the story. Here are some tips to help you stop reaching for your phone the moment you wake up. Use an alarm clock that isn't your phone. Keep your phone. I never, ever use an alarm clock. Never.
That blows my mind.
You guys use one?
Yeah, every day.
This is a true story, and I don't know why it's true. But when I tell myself, you have to get up tomorrow at this time, it will be within 10 minutes of that I wake up.
The whole time
It's
I was
really weird.
The whole time I was on the morning show with you, I showed up late one time, and you was it blew your mind. You said, I don't understand. I go, I set my alarm wrong. It was just stupid, whatever. And you were like, I don't understand. You just could not fathom the idea that I just didn't wake up.
I know, that's true.
A weird vampire floating from my bed at that time. That's crazy.
And then you said, Tom, you're mentally ill. That's why you wake up. I remember you saying that.
Yeah, probably.
Now, I don't know what the hell that is. I think maybe it's, and Rudy, this is something you probably would understand. Is it part of me always being on the alert from the time I was a little kid?
Yeah, a little bit of anxiety that runs through you a little bit.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I would almost guarantee that's what it is.
If you didn't set your alarm, how many times would you wake up at night if you didn't set it? Like if you were told, I'm going to try to just wake up on my own. Because I would wake up about 45 times going, is it time? If I don't set that would be terrifying to me.
Yeah, I set the alarm, but I never wake up to it.
You wake up before it?
I always wake up about 7 minutes before it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good
a lot
for
of people
you
like
guys.
that. It all works. Well, you're the stiff in the group.
I know.
Let's point that out,
I'm
shall we?
fine with that.
You're a disaster.
I've got ED and I have stiff. It's all very confusing.
Okay, so here you go. Do you ever get stuck in bed the morning mindlessly scrolling your phone? No, I do not. Ever.
Yes.
Never.
That happens to me.
Here are 4 tips that could help you break that habit. Use an alarm clock that isn't your phone. You'd be way less tempted to start scrolling as soon as you wake up if you don't use your phone as your alarm. I never have done that in my life. Keep your phone in another room at night, or at the very least, keep it on the other side of the room instead of... That's what I do, is keep it on the other side of the room.
That's smart.
Start a different morning ritual, something like making yourself a cup of coffee or tea. Right. Well, again, this show changed my life completely because I used to have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And now I don't have to get up until about 5:45. I suppose it could be 6 too, but 5:45 is about when I wake up. So, I mean, that difference of a couple of hours is huge.
It's so huge because especially if you start doing the countdown 8 hours prior.
Yeah.
Going to bed around 10 is a lot different than going to bed around 8.
No doubt about it, especially with a baby in the house.
Yeah, I know.
Man.
Yeah.
Set up app restrictions for the AM hours. You're just not that confident in your own willpower, but both Android and iPhones have settings. You can set to limit access to certain apps at designated times each day. So once again, every story we read is how so artificial intelligence, social media, all that stuff is basically ruining our lives. I mean, look at this. It's not good for us to have all that stuff. If you have to start working out in your head, I got to do this, that, or the other thing, and I got to make sure my app is this. I got a little alarm clock. It's a radio alarm clock. If I ever needed it, I could turn that on. I just think this stuff has gotten way too intrusive, don't you?
It is true, man. I'm not so bad at when I wake up in the morning jumping on my phone. Like, I'll look quickly for emails and texts and then live my life. But, man, the big one I come into is, like, when I go lay down and I want to go to bed by, let's say, 10:30. And I find myself scrolling and I go, what am I doing? All of a sudden, it's 11:30, and I don't even know how that happened.
Okay, a question I have for both of you and all our listeners. How can I put this without sounding really bad? But I just, you know what? I'll work through it in my head. And
you can ask. It's okay.
No, I got to work it out properly. Just make sure I ask it in the right way. But
we won't get bummed.
Seriously, I just don't. You can't allow these laptops and phones and this to ruin rule your life.
Yeah.
Because, man, that's everybody now. People walking down the street, they cannot stop looking at their phone.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? You know how easy it is to rob you when you're doing that?
I think you're so right. I think that right now that is a big epidemic in my life. And I realized it when Go-Go was about 6 months. She was sitting there playing, being cute. And I found myself, I was like watching a video of another baby on my phone. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And that's where I go, okay. When I'm around Go-Go, I got to put my phone somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Because it's a mindless thing. It's like you're not trying to intentionally do it, but it's like I don't want her whole life to be looking at the back of my phone when mom's around. So it's like it was like kind of hit me like a thing of bricks where I'm like, all right, I have to be intentional about being present. And it's hard. It's hard to make that switch when you've kind of relied on your phone for any entertainment. So yeah, it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be.
You're fine, though.
I'm going to be.
Okay. Brittany has kept this up on my screen now, or go-tos, for about 7 or 8 days now. A week from today, what's happening, Brittany?
Cinco de Mayo.
And where are they having a big celebration, Brittany?
Down the street at Rojo.
She's all excited about Cinco de Mayo at Rojo down the street here.
They're closing the street.
No, I know. It's unbelievable. Isn't that amazing?
It's a huge, big event.
It is a huge deal.
I saw it and I was like, okay, we're all going to be around on Cinco de Mayo. Rojo's down the street. They're going to close it off.
Have lunch on
I
Rojo?
would love.
So get Catherine to come down, maybe Alex.
That'd be super fun.
Yeah, a week from today is Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May, and Rojo is a really, really good restaurant right down there. A lot of good restaurants around here.
Can you tell I've been keeping that up for, I think, 2 weeks.
I think it's been 2 weeks she's kept that up. Tom, Rojo. I got it, sister.
That would be so fun.
Oh, yeah, it would be. Well, like I said, if you want to have, we get off at 10 o'clock. We can hang out for an hour and a half, go over there and have a little lunch.
I say we do it.
Get Catherine down here, everybody down here. Will your husband still be gone?
No.
Oh, he'll be back.
He's gone for the weekend.
Oh,
There's
just the
no
weekend.
way
Okay.
my husband and the baby could leave for more than 2 days. I'm gonna be a wreck even then. But no, I'll start looking into a babysitter, or maybe I'll bring her. Who knows?
Well,
Cinco de Mayo. Ooh.
I would bring Ethan, but he would do nothing but put his arms up so I could pick him up.
Yeah.
He loves doing that.
And he's the one, he's go. He's at that age where it's like having him on a restaurant or a plane sounds terrible.
Terrible idea. You're right. We have to take a break because Channel 5 Eyewitness News' Chris Eggert will join us right after this in the Tom Barnard Show.
The last thing you think about after an accident is how your social media might be used against you. Hi, I'm Mike Bryant, and I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything or post anything online until you've talked to us. These days, it's natural to share online what's happening to you, good and bad. When you file an injury claim, insurance adjusters will use anything they can to keep you from getting what you deserve. Your social media posts can be twisted and taken out of context. That includes words and pictures. Don't give them any fuel. Hey, you'll have the rest of your life to share the trip to the lake or your new job, but you only have one shot at winning your injury claim. If you've been in an accident, don't wait. Schedule your free case consultation now with Bradshaw and Bryant. Visit MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. That's MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
As you know, my friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of your life. He didn't stop by simply creating the best pillow. Mike created the Giza Dream bed sheets. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, which is crucial for my busy schedule. Mike found the world's best cotton. It's called Giza. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. Mike's Giza sheets come with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Giza Dream Sheets come in a variety of sizes and colors. Mike's latest incredible deal is the sale of the year. For a limited time, you'll receive 50% off the Giza Dream Sheets. You'll receive a set for as low as $29.98. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square, and use promo code TOM. There you'll find not only this amazing offer, but also deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the MyPillow 2.0 mattress topper, MyPillow towel sheets, and so much more. Call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM. Or go to MyPillow.com. Make sure you use the promo code TOM. Nothing but praise from management. What a pain in the ass he is to work with. But other than that. Ladies and gentlemen, a little weather before we get to Chris Eggert. Showery and chilly. Showers tapering toward evening with a high of 51. Tonight, cloudy and breezy, a low of 38. For Saturday, mostly cloudy, scattered showers, a high of 51. And Sunday, it still sucks. Very windy, chilly, scattered showers, a high of 49. It'll be nice again starting next Tuesday. It is rainy in some areas, 47 degrees right now. Maybe it's popped up even a little bit from there, but I don't know. Yeah, it's 48. Weather sucks here, Chris. Where are you, in Alaska?
Pretty much, yeah.
Where are you standing right now? What is that behind you? Is that a Mexico side?
I'm at Vickers. I am standing in Duluth on the shore of beautiful Lake Superior. And if you think it's cold where y'all are at, you ain't seen nothing.
Chris, it's so cute. You have a little red nose and red cheeks.
Because it's freaking cold out, man.
You look adorable.
One thing I will tell you for people, and if you've never experienced it, you got to do it. There's a great golf course in Duluth called, I think it's Northland Country Club. Really, really nice place, right? And some of the holes are up on top of the hill, and some are down by the shoreline. And as you go from the top of the hill, and the top of the hill will be like 77 degrees. By the time you get on the cart and go to the bottom of the hill, it's about 37 degrees.
Oh, dressed in layers.
Honest to God, going down from that elevation and closer to the sun by 50 feet, I guess my God, it gets cold going down that hill.
Yeah, there were a couple times this winter when we checked in with the meteorologist up here at WDIO, which is our sister station in Duluth, and it was like completely different weather up on the hill, up by the Enger Tower, than what they had down here. Like, I don't remember if it was like snowing, 2 feet of snow up there and nothing down here, or the other way around. But it's just crazy how much, that much difference can change the climate as far as what's impacting people. It's weird.
No doubt about that whatsoever. But I will tell you, I love Duluth. Matter of fact, we're going to take a vacation. Our July vacation this year for the 4th of July is going to be in Duluth. We're going to Grand Marais and then coming back to Duluth and meeting the family in Duluth. So
nice.
I love that place. I love Duluth. Absolutely.
Rudy, Brittany, you guys, you got any Duluth stuff?
Yeah, well, I went to UMD for a year and a half.
I didn't know that.
And I had a good time. I love that place.
I would say, I know, Chris, I know you're a beer guy, so go check out Ursa Minor Brewing. It's over on. It's in the west side of Duluth, I believe, kind of not too far from Denfeld area. But it's one of the best beers, some of the best beers I've ever had.
I can't give any recommendations since most of the time we were in unfinished basements. But if you do go to an unfinished basement, watch out. The stairs are rickety and you will fall.
There you go.
Okay, God, that's good advice. Good advice. We're at Fickers. We're going to be here for the Minnesota Live at 9:00, and I mean, you can kind of see the smokestack and the water tower in the background. It's kind of an iconic spot. I don't know whether their beer's any good, but I aim to find out by the end of the day today.
Really? Do you? I got to be honest with you, Chris, and I'm not kidding, because all those stations up there were part of my territory when I was at Capitol Records. So I used to go up there all the time. I don't know if there's a city I like to drink more in than Duluth. It was so much fun to drink up there. It was unbelievable. God, it was.
It kind of feels like you have to. I don't really know why.
Okay, so we thought his nose was all red because of the cold weather, but now I'm starting to second guess it.
Gin blossoms. Yeah, well, I mean, if I don't have them yet, they're coming. There's no doubt about that.
Now,
somehow I've been able to fight them off for this long.
Have you ever eaten at Valentini's up there? Great Italian restaurant, Valentini. Well, yeah, I don't know if you know David Valentini, but I believe it's his sister or his cousin or somebody. But really good Italian place. Really good.
They've got quite a scene. I mean, it's a food scene. It's a ton of hotels, really cool historic places. I feel like everything here must be haunted.
Yes, I would think it probably is, especially that.
Right? Like
the Congdon Mansion, that's probably haunted, don't you think?
Glen Sheen, too.
Glen Sheen. That's right.
Yep. Have you guys ever done the Glen Sheen tour? I thought that was pretty fun. We did it a number of years ago.
I have a question for you. Because you're what are you, like 6'2", 6'3", something like that?
4, but...
Oh, you're 6'4".
6'4".
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I asked you that the other day. Yeah. How did you get through any of the doors at the Glen Sheen Mansion? Because they're all about 5.5 feet to the top.
Yeah, it is pretty weird. It's funny when you're in older places like that to see how the scale of humans has changed.
It's
right?
True. That place. Yeah. There's no way you could get through those doors without ducking. Because I have to duck.
You're like, was everybody here 5'6"? No offense, Rudy.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how I want my mansion built, with doorways I can get through it. I don't feel like a munchkin.
You're the only one that can get through them. It'd be fantastic.
Rudy, by the way, congratulations on the Corolla thing. That's pretty cool.
It is great.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Great guy, too.
Very
Adam
cool.
Carolla's a very nice man.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. So life should be. One thing I will tell you, and you know this, Rudy, that Adam Carolla over the years has helped out a lot of people that you've never heard about, that he helped them.
Oh, one of the things about him is that he is so giving of his time. And when people ask, because I have done some work for Adam in the past, and everyone's like, well, is he kind of like a curmudgeon? I'm like, I was stranded in Los Angeles on Father's Day. I had nowhere to go. I had just returned my rental car. Right. There was no flights to get back to Minneapolis because my flight got canceled. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. So I just rang his people up, and they were like, hey, Adam said you can go stay at his beach house in Malibu. So I just went out to his beach house and stayed by myself, hanging out at the beach, just because I had nowhere to go. And he's like, dude, go stay there. It's totally okay. Don't worry about it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
wow.
Super nice guy. Absolutely. One of the best. Yes, for sure.
No, it did turn out that it was a standalone toilet. But,
it was a porta potty, but but it had all great man show memorabilia in it, so it was totally okay. Yeah,
exactly. No, he is just a great guy, great man. So, what is the temperature up there?
I think it's 38 when I saw, which isn't terrible. I mean, for Duluth. Yesterday, I went and I got on one of those little scooters, motorized scooters you can rent.
Yes.
And I rented that thing and went and scootered around. And I thought it was warmer than it was until I was on a scooter in a pair of shorts. And then the next thing I know, my hands are purple. And so that lake, man, she's a cold one.
The lake is. Have you ever taken a swim in Lake Superior?
Negative.
I did one time, and it is cold, baby. Woo, is that cold? But it's all rocky. It's a rocky bottom, so it's kind of cool to walk on because it's, it's not like rocky in a way like sharp rocks. No, it's all these very smooth rocks. It's kind of a cool feeling, actually.
I think what they say, the average temperature of Lake Superior is 40 degrees year round.
Oh, man. That is cold.
And I think actually, I'm up here with the people from Twin Cities Live. So Ben Lieber from Twin Cities Live,
good guy,
and he's apparently going swimming in Lake Superior this morning with Duluth's mayor.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Well, he's got enough muscle to cover it up. He's fine.
Well, I mean, it does seem kind of like a ploy to get him to get his shirt off.
Yeah,
right?
no doubt about it. No question.
Nobody's asking old Stumpy here to take his shirt off and take a swim in Lake Superior.
I'd watch you both swim. Why not? And hold hands. I'd be into that.
It's not fun going in the water when you don't have a leg because I fall over. I can't stand up.
I suppose, yeah.
The first time I went, it was right after my surgery, maybe 2 or 3 months. It was my first trip out of town, and we went we were in Gulf Shores, and I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna be so great to go in the water. And I had to have my son roll me in there like a freaking whale. It was so embarrassing.
It was bonding. I bet your son had a kick out of that. By the way, I think they're taking the trash out behind you.
Yeah, they're backing up the trash truck.
Literally, when you're showing us the smokestack, there's these big trash bins right next to you.
He's walking away from it now.
Just a professional.
What the hell is going on
Beep,
back here?
beep,
Yeah,
beep,
yeah.
beep.
Well,
Ooh, what a view that is you're giving us right now.
I know,
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Oh, what a gorgeous view. Oh, man, that's beautiful. Love that place.
They also give you some nice jackets for your, I want some of those coats they give you.
You know what's funny? I donate
that didn't work.
I donate a couple of these every 2. God dang it.
Run, Chris, run from them.
I can't run, Brittany. I don't have a goddamn leg.
Okay. I know that's not true.
Oh, this is the best.
Look at that cool. Dude.
He's literally following you around. He's following you with the trash truck.
He's a big fan.
He must be listening.
This
Hey,
is
sir, give us a quick honk if you're listening,
right?
sir.
Yeah. This is the weirdest reality show I've ever watched. I am so into it.
Oh, look at that over there. You can kind of see the...
Oh, beautiful.
It is beautiful. We
love it.
Yeah, does Channel 5 know you're hanging out at Wabasha Books?
Yeah. What about that?
You guys ever been up to Wabasha Books?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I feel like there's a story there.
Yeah. Look it up. Not on a company computer, but look it up one day.
You donate those coats. I bet you people are so excited, if they're at Goodwill to buy a Channel 5 news coat.
Well, then it's also you think some guy's gonna show up at a crime scene with a Channel 5 coat on.
Can I get one day?
Okay.
I'm good. Can I please? Next time you donate one, can I have it?
Absolutely, because they get new logos every 2 years, and so you can't wear the old logo, and that would be a faux pas.
Yes.
A faux pas, pardon me.
Yeah,
all I have to say. It's a faux pas, man. Okay, so go to Valentini's for dinner. There's also a place right on the lake. It's on the second floor, kind of mid. It's not right by Fitger's, but it's not that far either. Can't remember the name of it. God, it's a lot of really good restaurants in Duluth. A lot of them.
What did I read 400 restaurants or something. They got a booming scene for a city of 90,000 people, right?
They really do. There's no question about it. And it was the home of Chun King chow mein for a long time, so that's good enough for me.
Oh man, those water chestnuts! I can feel them.
I'm telling you.
Feel them crunching in my mouth.
I'm here to tell you, it's exactly what I'm talking about. Chris knows exactly what I mean. The crunchy water chestnuts, or whatever.
What is a water chestnut? I don't think I've ever had a water chestnut except for in Chungking.
You're so right, and I don't know what they look like whole because I've only seen them sliced. So what are we dealing with originally?
Can't be. Yeah, I don't want to. I actually don't even want to think about it. They're gross. They're weird.
Do you think that their competitor would be allowed to run their jingle now? East meets West, LaJoy makes Chinese food. That was their jingle.
Things stick in your brain at a level.
That was their jingle.
That's funny. I forgot about that.
That's true.
Hey, Tom, are you talking about the restaurant Zeitgeist?
Zeitgeist is really good, too.
Yeah.
That's another one really good. But that's not the one I was talking about. But that is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many great things up. And like I said, you take a drive from where you are to Two Harbors, that scenery is unbelievably beautiful.
And all the rivers are really raging right now because of all the snow they've had. So there's a lot of really pretty water features that are going on up there too, which is cool. But I don't I don't suppose I'll have time to drive up there because I got to be back on the tube at 3:00 today. So.
Oh, you do? But, you look at that again, and it's not just because I was born here and I'm just going on and on and on. You go all the way from the southern border, western border, eastern border, all the way to Canada. There are so many great places like the Red Wings and Duluth's and Mankato's, and, you go out west to all the great spots. There's a lot of beautiful spots to go to in Minnesota.
Oh, for sure. It's the geology is so different.
It is.
All over the place, which is, although, I think Western Minnesota kind of gets a little bit of a raw deal out of that.
Yeah, probably.
I love Laverne and Pipestone, and there's beauty in grasslands too, right? Like it's not all, there's beauty in nothingness.
No, you're absolutely right. That drive out to South Dakota, as a matter of fact, from Minneapolis, St. Paul, if you go the right way, it is stunningly beautiful. Pretty much the whole damn way.
For sure.
It is.
But if you go on I-90, it is not stunning.
It's a lot of traffic going right along the southern border.
Stunningly boring if you take I-90. But
I suppose that's true. There's no question about it. But you're going to have such a good time. So what time you get off today? At 3:00? You get off 3:30?
Well, I got to do the Minnesota Live from 9 to 10, and then we got to go shoot some stuff, I think, and then back from 3 to 4:30, and then I'm not sure if I'm going to stay up here tonight or no, so I might drive back. I'm not sure.
Oh, your family's not with you?
No, they're at school and work.
Oh, I suppose that's true.
This is a purely work trip.
Okay, if you're listening, how many kids do you have?
2.
How old are they?
17 and 15.
Okay. If Dad doesn't make it home by 6, he's upstairs up in Duluth boozing it up. So I'm just warning you up front.
He's at Grandma's having a picture of Long Island.
That's where
he's at Wabasha Books.
Yeah.
Oh, Wabasha. We should do a show someday from Wabasha. That Eagle Center they have. You ever been to the Eagle Center in Wabasha? The bird
We've
center
had them on the show a ton of times. It's like a super cool place.
What's so cool about that place is they have, when I was there were 4 eagles that were injured, so they were in the actual habitat of the Wabasha, that building there. And one of the walls is all glass from top to bottom, side to side. And what's really weird is they keep those 4 eagles there so they can kind of look outside. They can't fly anymore, so whatever. But the cool thing is, as you're standing there looking at them, you look out and see other eagles flying by looking in at them. It's hilarious. It's like, what the hell are you doing in there?
Idiot.
It's phenomenal. They fly by because they're like, what the hell's that? Why are you in there?
Sucker, you punk ass, you're stuck in jail.
Or they're jelly. Maybe they're like, that's the life. That's my retirement plan.
Probably warmer in there in the winter.
Right.
Nah, it's so great. I'm glad you're up there. So you haven't decided if you're going to come back or not yet, huh?
No, I don't know. I suppose it depends what my family has going on. But again, 17 and 15 usually doesn't involve mom and dad anyway. So
yeah, you're probably right.
I may just stay up here and make a weekend of it.
Okay, if I call you, answer your phone like this. Just make a drinking sound. All right?
I had the opportunity to really kind of tie it on last night, and I didn't do it. I feel like maybe I should have done that.
What a professional.
This is not a whole lot like back in the old days when TV anchors would call into radio stations. They would never mention the guy. I might just stay up here and get drunk.
I know. Chris, you are unlike so many TV people, and the level that I adore it is epic. You are.
We're on the internet, so I feel like I can be a little more edgy.
It's a safe space. No, this doesn't go anywhere. No one hears this. Don't worry.
And by the
way, I know
way,
lots of people hear it.
Oops, my bad.
There you go. Well, I'm looking at 4 pictures right now. One of them is me, then there's Brittany, there's Rudy, and there's you. If they ever send us like big prizes of like cases of booze, you get it all. Do you know that?
How so?
Well, because Brittany and I don't drink at all. Rudy, you don't drink much either. You're not a big drinker.
Rudy drinks.
I'm a bit of a boozer.
Oh, you still booze it up enough?
Yeah, Rudy's a drinker.
Yeah.
So between the 2 of you each get 6 bottles of booze. So that'll be good.
All right.
Sweet.
I can accept that.
Yeah.
You know what? I should invite you guys. Well, I'm going to invite you guys over to as soon as it warms up. We're going to do a grill out deal with all my neighbors, and I'd love you all to come because I've got a wine cellar that nobody ever uses anymore. You just go through and look at all that wine and go, that's the one I want right there.
I'm not much of a connoisseur of wine, but I'm guaranteeing there'll be something down there that will work out just fine.
We've had a lot of listeners write in about their first drinking experiences in Duluth, and people are really excited for you. Trevor wrote in and said, I got my first underage in Duluth visiting my friends that went to college up there. Great times.
Great times.
A lot of people are very passionate about you boozing it up in Duluth, so don't disappoint us, Chris.
Is UMD a big party school, Brittany? I'm not all that. I thought it was, but
oh, we had so much fun, and it was so different. So I had so many friends because I grew up around here in the cities, and we'd go visit St. Thomas. You'd have to get dressed up, but in Duluth, it was socially acceptable to wear sweatpants to a party, and you would just dance uncontrollably in this terrible basement that I'm sure had asbestos and mold, and because it was always cold. And so it was just low maintenance, so much fun.
Love it.
I love it.
It was epic.
All right, Pally, we'll head to the bar. I think it's 8:40, so it'll open in 20 minutes.
I think we're having Bloody Marys at 9:35 for the show. So.
Nice.
It's
All right,
research.
Pally. It's research.
He screams.
He's right. It's research.
The things you do for us, Chris.
No question.
That's right.
No
All right,
question
you guys
about
have a good weekend.
Thanks a
Bye.
lot, Chris. Great weekend.
Bye.
Straight ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Love working with that guy.
He's so funny.
He's wonderful.
And you hit
Always
the
has
nail
been.
on the head, man, because a lot of times when we have TV people on, they're very buttoned up, and they've been told that there's a reputation they have to hold, and they can't talk. He is so fun and doesn't do any of that.
But Don Shelby doesn't do that.
No, but
Frank
do you think
Vassalero doesn't do it either.
No, but they're both, yeah, I don't know. But a lot of times I work with TV people, and they're lovely, but they'll have more of I don't want to tell all the secrets, or I don't want to go into that, or, they have kind of decorum that I wouldn't.
They wouldn't hang out with me then.
They wouldn't hang out with me
Yeah,
either.
they're not the people that hang out with me are people like Shelby and Vassalero and Chris.
Yes, that don't take themselves that serious. Maybe it's new news
Exactly.
people. Maybe that's the thing, is maybe when you first get into news,
Yeah,
you kind of
maybe.
have a brand and you want to be perceived a certain way. We never have that talk in radio. Nobody's like, hey, keep a certain, nobody cares what we say.
No.
But news, I feel like maybe that when you first start news, I'd love to if when you first start news, if they tell you, hey, you're a brand, you can't you have to say your opinion too much.
No.
But I love Chris Egger is hilarious. That guy is so funny.
Really, and honest guy, I love I hate swimming because I don't have a leg.
Oh, when I told him to run, and he goes, I can't, I only have one leg. Oh, he's so funny.
He's a great guy. Wonderful guy to work with. There's no question about that.
I'm a little hell-bent now, Tom. So, Va Bene, is that the Italian restaurant you were talking about?
Oh, so you're...
I've been researching. I'm because now I need to know.
The Valentini is the Italian restaurant. The other place is kind of and I'm trying to remember what the hell it even is. It's just, I remember it's really good. And you sit up on this, there's a deck out front you can get on the second floor. There's in the indoor, and you look right out over the lake. It's just magnificent.
Yeah, because that's the one I'm looking. Because I've been to this one before, but I've
maybe
never.
it is.
Yeah, so it's got like a deck outside, and then you can sit on an indoor place, and it looks out over the lake.
Maybe that is it then.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Duluth is a great town, really. And again, when we go up there, the two grandkids, Alex's kids already asked, are we going to the rotating restaurant at the Radisson?
Right.
They just love that rotating restaurant.
Jill wrote in, and I didn't know this. She wrote, she also loves Duluth, and she was reminiscing about terrible memories that neither of us can remember. But she wrote, St. Scholastica is a wet campus, and they had a kegger in the gym.
Sure.
And as long as you were 21, it was okay to drink on campus.
Really?
Yeah, and what a big thing in Duluth when I was going there was on Sundays, we would just drive right over that bridge.
Right over the border, baby.
And head on over to Wisconsin. And I had a fake, but you barely needed one in most of those. I mean, we had so much fun. And it was a blast. And like I said, very low maintenance fun. It was nobody was curling their hair. You just showed up and you drank. Yeah.
I've told this story many times on theCUBE, but never on this show.
Let's hear it.
When I first moved up to work at KVOX in Fargo, okay? I went to KNOX first, then I later on in life went up to KVOX, worked with Bob Denver up there, great guy. But we were having a little party out there, and there was this long, winding driveway to get back to the radio station. So, You can buy fireworks in North Dakota, but you're not supposed to shoot them off in Minnesota.
You say Wisconsin, you mean?
No, Fargo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Fargo.
I'm so sorry.
Not a problem. You never pay attention.
As I'm staring at you, taking in every set. Like,
oh, yeah. But anyway, so I'm loading the cannon that we made, a long pipe, and we tie a bunch of bottle rockets together or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I'd put them in, light them, and it would shoot out the cannon. And our chief engineer, Steve Terhar, was up on the tower, and we were trying to hit him
of course,
with the bottle rocket.
Because
right?
You're being the worst.
One thing I didn't know about that job was there's kickback on loading and firing the cannon. All of a sudden, I looked down, and the driveway was about probably a third of a mile long, and here comes the cops. Because you're not supposed to shoot fireworks off in Minnesota.
No.
So I said, let's just run inside.
Act casual.
And by the way, nobody mentioned this to me either. I said, I'll just go to the door and tell them, I don't know what you're talking about, officer.
Sir, I've never seen how do you pronounce it? Firewalk?
Firewalk? Is that what it is? A walk? So I answer the door, and he goes, you guys, where are you from? I said, from Minneapolis. He goes, well, then you know you're not supposed to shoot fireworks off in Minnesota. I said, well, we weren't. He goes, don't tell me you weren't. Don't lie to me or there's going to be big trouble. You just admit that you did it, and I'll go away, but don't shoot off any more fireworks, and don't lie to me by telling me you didn't do it. I said, okay, officer. He goes, okay, I'm leaving. Do yourself a favor and go in the men's room. I said, okay. I walk in the men's room, look in the mirror. My face is black with gunpowder. I mean, I literally look like I had blackface.
I was going to say, sir, you're either very inappropriate or you've been firing fireworks.
Exactly.
Which would you want to fall into?
But I suppose behind the cannon, all that stuff would come back.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, it's not like you are Dexter. I'm sure it's all on the driveway. I'm sure it's all over you. I'm sure you had a literal trail to your.
It's true.
Everyone's excited saying Pickwicks.
Oh, I love Pickwick.
In Duluth.
Pickwick is really
right by
good.
Fickers, yeah.
Yep, Pickwick's really good. Used to go there all the time with Donnie Hoberg. Do you remember Donnie Hoberg?
Mm-mm.
You don't remember him? He's my friend that I knew him for years and years and years. First guy I ever knew that died of AIDS, as a matter of fact.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that was a tough road to hoe because Donnie was a great guy, but he liked to mess around a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, my God. I'm getting so many emails about drinking stories in Duluth.
I bet you are.
I just have a quick one because I know we got to go to break. We were leaving this big party, and we were walking out of the front door, and there was like a little gated stairway that when you walk out, and there was these two guys got in this big fight.
Ooh,
right in front of me.
Slugfest?
Yes, and I got scared, and I saw that the snow was high enough that I could jump off the gated into the pile of snow. And I thought, I may not have been thinking super clearly, and I thought, perfect. Sure. It's only about 4 feet down. I'll jump into that mound. I don't want to get punched in the face or, hit or whatever. And I was, jumped out. All of a sudden, it's a wave bigger fall than I think, and it was extra boom, boom, boom. It was a big snow fort, and that was the top of it.
God.
Fell down into the snow fort. I mean, I was fine.
You broke the roof.
I broke the roof of their snow fort because, of course I did. I jumped from this thing.
Poor kids.
But it was, because not kids, it was frat boys.
Yeah.
They were fine.
Frat boys, never mind.
But it was so funny. Everyone was laughing. They're like, is she alive? And of course, there's this perfect little front door. Crawl out. And I'm thinking, oh no, they're going to be mad. They're laughing, cheering. I run to the streets like a raccoon because I'm scared. They talked about that for years. The time that the girl made this exit that was just beyond epic. And it was just so alarming. But then to see that I wasn't dead and that there was this beautiful exit, it was the best exit I've ever done.
No, it is good that you weren't dead, I think.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We do have to take a break. Coming right back, the 10 most annoying things neighbors can do. Now, that's interesting because I always talk about the fact that since we moved 3 years ago to our new residence, we hang out with all of our neighbors. I mean, going all the way to the end of the block on one side, most on the other side. They couldn't be nicer. So do you have annoying neighbors? Have you ever had an annoying neighbor?
I love our neighbors.
Yeah?
Yeah, we have the Goldens next to us. Priscilla watches Go-Go, and then we have the I love we live in a cul-de-sac. We've been so lucky. I had no emotional attachment to Eden Prairie, but I love our cul-de-sac, and now I love Eden Prairie.
Yeah, well, no question about that. It just having great neighbors. Did you ever have to go over and knock on a door and tell one of your neighbors, listen, you need to calm the hell down? Did you ever have to do that?
When I lived in an apartment,
yeah,
there was a big there was this huge noise, and it ended up being they were fighting, and they broke their glass table twice. Why did they keep buying a glass table was my big question.
If you're going to break it.
Yeah, and that was the only time I was like, is everything okay?
Yeah, that can be weird. And it's always in apartment houses, too. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, you live so close. You hear all the things, but...
It's true. We shall take that break. Like I said, the 10 most annoying things neighbors can do. I've not looked at this list yet. We'll find out together right after this Tom Barnard Show.
Ever heard the expression, go with a leader? Why do people say that? I go with a leader because you don't become one unless you're doing something right. And in the world of auto dealerships, that means you can trust they're treating their customers right, their employees right, and must offer value that makes more and more Minnesotans want to come back to do business the right way. The Nissan stores of Walser Nissan last month were 3 of the top 4 leading sellers of Nissans in the entire state. Now, I don't want to say who was number 1 because I don't want the guys at Nissan Coon Rapids and Wayzata to get jealous of Dan Resch in Burnsville. I'm Tom Barnard. My whole family owns and drives Walser Nissans, and this April you can get 0% financing for 36 months on Rogues and Altimas, plus an additional $500 bonus on any trade-in you make. Even if you have to push it onto the lot, you still get at least $500 on your trade. The leaders of Walser Nissan Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids do things the right way, the Walser way. So go to walser.com and select the Walser Nissan store nearest you. Oh, and tell them Tommy sent you.
0% financing for 36 months, $27 per month per $1,000 finance on approved credit.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. God, one of those days flying by again, man.
I know.
I'm just telling you. That's all there is to it. Coming up next hour, of course, Phil Mackey and Kent Hrbek will talk to us about 20 after 9. Timmy Lammers at 9:50. Lots of great stuff next hour coming up. The boys talking about the Twins winning a big one again last night. Well, I shouldn't say a big one, a big win, but the team they played is not very good. Kansas City is not good at all. But matter of fact, I don't think there's anybody else in our division that's over 500. I think we're the only team now that's over 500 in the AL Central.
I believe I looked it up the other day because I got tickets to go to the Giants game when they come to town. Yeah, and we were trying to check out standings to see what ticket prices might be when the Giants roll in, and it looks like, yeah, you're right, man. The rest of the teams in this division are awful.
Yeah, not good. There's no question about that. I'm just going to look at the standings. I forgot to put in standings. Tom, you dumb bastard. Talk amongst yourselves for a second, because I do want to get the standings here. Oh, stats. It'd be under stats, wouldn't it?
Sure.
Yeah. Rudy, you want to hear some more emails?
Yeah, I see we got a ton that came in.
Nope, you're out of the mix. Forget it.
All right, never mind. Tom wrote in, Brittany, you guys were talking about the extreme weather in Duluth. And I have to tell you about an experience we had in Duluth. While doing a construction project at Duluth International Airport 2 summers ago, we had temperatures drop 30 degrees in 90 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We went from T-shirts to jacket. You always have to pay attention to the wind direction. When the wind's in from the east, it's going to be cold. Keep up the good work. Been listening to Tom every year he's on the radio. Glad to hear you guys back together. Tom from Sandstone.
Nice. My sister used to live in Duluth. She went to St. Scholastica. She worked at a hospital up there. And up on top of the hill, there's an apartment complex. Top of the hill, corner apartment. She had the best view of Lake Superior. And we used to walk out onto her deck, like her little patio.
Yeah.
And there was one time that we were up there in T-shirts and shorts.
Yeah.
It was, whatever, it was like, probably 68, 70, something like that.
Yeah.
We were looking down at the bottom of the hill at like 6 inches of snow.
How wild.
That is amazing.
Like, how is this the same place? Yeah.
I know, but
crazy.
How is it that it's almost May and it's 6,000 below? That's what I want to know.
We are close to May. It's so blowing my mind a little bit.
Couple of days. That's all that's left. A couple of days for you. I just looked at the standings. Something that's very interesting. Yes, the Twins are the only team above 500. They're 15-11. Cleveland in second place at 12-13. But something I did notice: the AL East. Not one team in the AL East is under 500. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's amazing. 21-5, Tampa Bay. Baltimore 17-8. Toronto 16-9. New York is 15-11, and Boston is 13-13. So not one team in the AL East is under 500. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and then you look at garbage divisions like the NL West. You got Arizona, the Dodgers, San Diego, San Francisco, and Colorado. Ugh, brutal.
Not good. No question about it. All right. So the 10 most annoying things that neighbors can do. Is there something that a neighbor would do to you that you would think was horrible?
Oh, we have a horror story that's someone wrote in.
Really?
Margaret.
Ooh,
Margaret said, I lived on the second floor of 3-floor apartment. The neighbors on the first floor would always play depressing country music at very high volume every Saturday morning from 9:30 to noon. And she said it was not good when I was nursing a hangover in my mid-20s.
Oh, God, can you bird dear, and you're hungover?
Yeah, no.
Oh, I love that, Margaret. Thank you. No question about it. All right, well, here's some of the things that they throw out, the 10 most annoying things neighbors can do.
Yeah.
A poll found the most annoying things our neighbors do includes, well, I'm not going to go with the includes. I'll just do the list of things. Should I go 10 to 1? Yeah, probably 10 to 1. Huh?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Not picking up your dog's poop when you take them on walks. Yeah, there's no excuse for that at all.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, annoying. It's beyond annoying. You're just a lazy prick, so get your poop out of my way. Right?
I can't imagine the anxiety. The times I have accidentally ran out of bags, because, I used to have 3 dogs.
Right.
And if you run out of bags, my biggest trick is if people have, like, newspapers in their driveway, is take the bag from there.
What's wrong with that?
No, that's what I do, because if otherwise, the idea of leaving it, oh, God, anxiety.
No, you're right. Leaving poop behind, I'll never understand it. And people still do it a lot. Although, you know what? People do it more in Florida than they do here.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I have no idea whether you find a lot of dog poop on, like the little side, not right on the sidewalk, but a little grassy area. I don't know what the hell that is.
A lot of signs in Richfield. People have the little dog, like the little plastic dog that says no pooping.
Right.
They don't. I'm like, there's a part of me that goes, as a dog owner, obviously it's annoying, but a part of me is like, good, keep them dogs off your lawn. You work hard for that lawn.
At the same time, that's like such a wild expectation, because they'll have like no pooping, like they don't want whatever. Like, I get that ideally I would have my dogs poop in my own yard, but like, also, how am I going to prevent a quick drive-by?
Nah,
like,
you pull that dog right by the leash and keep moving.
Stop pooping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, keep moving, sister.
Animals poop in people's yards. Take it easy.
Letting your place look like crap, that includes not mowing your lawn, is number 9. Yeah, I don't know if I could put it. I've never had a neighbor that let their house go to crap. You ever had to deal with that?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you have, really? Ugh.
Oh, well, that's the one thing. So I guess the people that lived in our house before us let the yard go crazy. And so to this day, people will come up to Justin. They're like, we just appreciate you. Like, he does a lot, but at the same time, they're just like, the level of maintenance I'm like, okay, he mowed the lawn. Like,
yeah, this is a bit too much. Turning your TV up so loud they can hear it. That is the one thing I was talking about, living in an apartment house. You're blasting your TV. I'm sorry, I got to come over and knock on your door. Turn that damn thing down. What are you doing?
Oh, do you remember we were in Punta Cana, and one of our listeners was complaining that they were like, I'm not getting any sleep. The person next to me is blaring their TV. And it ended up being Philly Dog.
What a shock.
Ended up being Philip Wise.
Philly,
and that's how you'd go to sleep, with a really loud TV. And we found out it was him, and we were dying laughing.
Last time I talked to Philly, he was talking about moving to a warmer climate.
Well,
I love Philly. What a great guy.
Last time I talked to him, he was talking about moving to Omaha.
Oh, well, that's where he's from.
I know, that's where his family is, but that is not warmer.
Well, it's warmer, but it's not warm.
Yeah.
It's a good way to put it. Yeah, he was from, he's from that area growing up as a kid. No doubt about it. Number 7, slamming doors. Yeah, not big enough. Throwing loud parties. Well, wouldn't you warn your neighbors if you're going to have a house party? Hey, it might get a little loud, and just let me know.
That's the best advice you can give to people.
You warn them?
Mm-hmm. Walk over to your neighbors, and you know what? Get their number. Say, text me if there's a problem.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, if you can be just a little preemptive, you can get away with a lot more.
Yep. Yeah, letting kids be as noisy as they want. No. Sorry, your kids cannot be as noisy as they want.
No.
And this number 4 only happens if you live next door to Italians.
Oh, my God.
Lots of shouting or being loud in general. Is anybody you know louder than Sansevier?
No.
Hey, Tom, how you doing, Tom? I'm like, settle down, Bob.
It's not like we're quiet people either.
No,
so if we're pointing fingers, it's bad.
Good point. That's a good point. Number 3, letting dogs bark all day. No, it can't do that either. I'm sorry.
That's a rough one. That's hard when you hear. I mean, it next leveled when you got a napping baby. I'm just like, like hits your molars.
I suppose. This next one is the one we just talked about, blasting music. If you're going to blast music, you're going to have to come over and let me know you're going to blast music, right? I can put up with it for a little while, but not all day.
Yeah, we had some neighbors that were from Mexico, and one of their daughters was having their quinceañera.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They hired a live mariachi band, and it was 10:37 at night, and that band was just going strong. And my ex, my daughter's mom, was like, "You have to go over there and tell them to turn it down. It is so loud. The baby's up. I'm awake. We got to get some sleep." So I'm like, I'll go over there. I'll be the man. I walk over there. I'm like, "Hey, can you guys possibly turn it down?" Like half hour later, I come back with like 6 Coronas in me. I'm like, they're totally gonna turn it off in just a minute. Like they're really nice guys. We got to get to know them better.
Any minute now.
Hey, bring the baby monitor. Let's go.
Totally fine.
Number one, though, the most annoying thing that your neighbor can do is inappropriate parking, like blocking their driveway. Why would you block anyone's driveway? Why would you ever park in front of someone's driveway?
That's insane.
It's ridiculous.
Driveway, yeah. But how do you guys feel about the sidewalk?
No problem.
Really?
But I lived in Minneapolis. You had to accept it.
Yeah.
Like that's where people parked. And now we have a cul-de-sac, and still people park in front of us. And it kind of, Justin's like, well, he doesn't get mad, but he kind of notes it. And I was like, if you lived in Minneapolis, in St. Paul, you accept the fact that people get to park right in front of your house.
Yeah, my sister goes all Karen on people when they park in front of her sidewalk, yeah.
Like, especially, I am conscious, though, to not park in front of if I can prevent park in front of their walkway. Because sometimes older people, or if you have stuff, people need that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I would never do that to somebody else. Blast music so loud or be screaming in the house. I just don't do that kind of. Well, first of all, it was dangerous to do it where I grew up because, they would mention it to you while pointing a gun at your head. So.
It's smart actually to live like everybody has guns. To have that mindset.
Yes, I agree.
Because I'm not saying even like locationally where you are. There's a good chance people have guns. We've talked about people not having whatever. I tell my husband that all the time. Every time he gets all mad about, some sort of traffic incident, I go, well, you need to start living like people have guns. Just pretend everyone has a gun.
It's very smart. I think you're absolutely right on the money with that one. Just assume they could do you some real damage, and maybe you'll think through it.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so, too. Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, this is sad. This makes me sad for whoever owned that company. 2 other stores are accepting expired Bed Bath & Beyond coupons.
Who?
I don't know. Oh, you got some at the house,
I might.
So Bed Bath & Beyond went under? Yeah, they went bankrupt.
Yeah, they went bankrupt.
They're still open, though, some of them, aren't they? Some Bed Bath & Beyonds, I think.
Well, I know the one in Bloomington in the strip mall there, kind of by Kohl's, that thing is shut down.
Oh, it did? Okay.
Yeah,
maybe they did. Yeah, maybe they all shut down then. Bed Bath & Beyond went bankrupt and stopped accepting those 20% off coupons this week, but if you haven't tossed them yet, 2 other retailers announced they will accept them. You can use them at Big Lots through May 7th and the Container Store till May 31st. Do we have Big Lots and Container here?
There is a Container Store in Edina on France Avenue. And
I know where that is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think there's a Big Lots in like South Bloomington, kind of like 98th in France. It's way down there.
It feels like it's like off the highway you can see all the time, right?
No, this one's like Big Lots. It's either that or it's Savers. One of the two that's kind of like off the beaten path, but it's kind of down by a Cub Foods way like 98th and...
There's one in Blaine off the highway.
Oh, there is. Okay, yep.
But I don't know. There could be more. Big Lots.
It's kind of a more southern Missouri type of place, I believe.
Oh, you're right. There is one. Oh, there's one near Hopkins.
Oh.
Which one is near Hopkins?
Big Lots.
Big Lots, okay. Well, now you can go there. It's the 20% off coupon. They'll be worth, it says here, 20% off coupons that people have saved for years would officially expire on Tuesday. So they've been worthless for a few days now, except it turns out they're not worthless. 2 major retailers announced they'll be accepting them for a limited time, Big Lots and the Container Store, as we said. Big Lots will take them until May 7th, and you can use them to get 20% off any purchase of $50 or more. Oh, so you get something for $40 instead of $50. That's pretty good. But only in person, not online. The Container Store will let you use them to get their 20% off any single item through May 31st. So you got a month for that one. Again, it's an in-store only deal, but hey, if you can get rid of your 20% off coupons, it's a great thing, isn't it?
There you go.
Yeah. It would suck if it was very specific. Like you go to the Container Store, like, I have a coupon for 50% off a set of knives. And they're like, we're a Container Store. We don't own the knives. No.
Have you gone to the Container Store?
I love it.
Oh, I do too. Oh, it makes me want to be a better person. It makes me want to be someone I am not. I love the Container. You, Tom? I don't know if you like it.
The Container Store?
It's so good.
Because of containers?
It's like so specific. You go in there, you're like, maybe I do need to organize my toothpicks by size and color.
Mhm.
Like they make you think that you can be a better person.
That's it. Well, I just got well, you guys probably got the same email, I'm sure. But next Friday, Joey Gatto's going to do a radio tour from, Impractical Jokers.
Oh, nice. Sure. Yeah.
If we can, he's real. You ever talk to him?
Never talked to him. I've met a couple of the guys from, but never him. I think he was just in Rochester this past Sunday.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, I think so.
He was doing stand-up?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's going to do a tour apparently on May 5th, so we can track him down. Those guys are always real. I don't get to watch their TV show much. I'd probably like to watch it more than I do, actually, as a matter of fact. But having those guys on, they're very, very nice guys.
I'm surprised you're not watching their TV show because it's always on.
Yeah. It is always on. Was that TMZ?
No,
not TMZ. It's what is it? True TV.
True TV, yeah.
It's TRU. That's
that and like Rob Dyrdek's show on MTV.
Oh, yeah, the game show.
Yeah, well, those two things are
Ruthless? Is it Ruthless?
No, it's something like that, though.
Ridiculous?
Ridiculous, yes.
It is ridiculous. There
Good
you
job
go.
getting to that. Yeah, that's always on.
Yeah, those shows, you're right. Those shows are always on. What the hell? But yeah, I like that when Art sends out that stuff way ahead of time so we can be one of the first people in there to get that thing booked. I love that stuff. A lot of great things going on, right?
Yes, we got a lot of emails about dog poop. Brittany, I disagree with you on the dog thing. We have a cabin on the lake here in Wisconsin. Our neighbors let their dogs roam free around the lake. Guess what? I step in the bare feet at least twice a summer.
Ugh.
Nothing could make more annoying neighbors control those dogs. That's Brandon from Milwaukee. And I want to make it clear. When I'm saying that I get annoyed with the don't poop in the yard thing, I mean, I'm going to pick up the poop. I just don't think I can control if my dog happens to pee or poop near or around your yard.
Really? Well, why not?
Well, I mean, like, if I'm on a walk and all of a sudden there's a sign, my dog doesn't speak English, doesn't read signs well. So if we're, like, walking on the sidewalk, living our life, and she lifts her leg and pees in your yard, like, we're going to have to live our lives. But I'm not saying I don't want to, I always pick up poop.
Sure.
But, like, what do you want someone to do? Like, why would it be such a big deal if a dog poops in your yard and you pick it up? Why is that?
I agree. Yeah. Why don't you just pick it up? What are you doing? Right?
Rudy's like, I want you to cross the street. I want you to hold your dog's booty hole with your finger.
Yeah, plug it up. Well, it's not like people have the length of a football field for their front yard. It's another 30 feet to the next person's yard. And
so just sprint if they start squatting?
No, just pull them by the leash and then let them do their thing.
And also, I've seen your dog. If your dog wants to poop somewhere, it's going to poop somewhere.
You are right about that, yeah.
That's a big dog.
Apparently, he prefers to do it in the house, apparently to anywhere else.
Oh, good. What kind of dog do you have?
Old English Bulldog.
Oh, do you really?
English Bulldog, yeah.
So cute.
Mm-hmm.
Cute puppies. We got Judy still.
Yeah,
Judy,
of
although
course.
Judy's 10 or 11 years
Stop.
old.
I will not accept that Jude is not a puppy.
10 or he still looks like a puppy. That's the amazing thing about it.
Doug wrote in and he said he's still working through his emotions seeing Tom on YouTube. Now I find out Tom lets strangers kisses him on the lips. My man crush deepens.
Yeah, I'm sure. No question about it. What do you mean lets people? When somebody comes in, what am I going to do? Shove her face away? Get your face away from mine.
I think he's just excited to see you on YouTube, to go watch you on
very nice.
YouTube.
Thank
you.
Yeah. But no, Stephanie was a wonderfully, very, very huge fan of the show and a very nice person. Just, some people got that great personality.
Yeah.
That was her.
Yeah, and
she had a great personality.
Jim is talking about anal neighbors and wants you to know about this one, Rudy. Jim wrote, I have a neighbor who is a great guy, fairly anal. On one Saturday night, he put out a Petri dishes in his side of the yard to measure water volume from his sprinkler system. So while he's on the driveway sipping on a libation, showing off his new system to his dad, I crawled through his side, strategically placed yellow coloring in each dish. Enough said.
It's funny. It's very funny. Anal Neighbors also, I've seen that movie.
Anal Neighbors.
We actually ask you to turn that off during work.
Wasn't that the Astor Art? You're too young to know what that even is.
I have no idea.
There was a porno movie theater downtown Minneapolis when I was a little boy, right on Hennepin Avenue. It was called the Astor Art.
Astor Art.
I said, Mom, is that they're like art movies? No, they're not art movies.
Oh.
Why is Astor spelled with 2 S's?
Yeah, why is Astor spelled with 2 S's? It shouldn't be. You're absolutely right. Yeah, the Astor Art, it was on I would guess probably 6th and Hennepin, something like that. Somewhere in there. God, I used to love going downtown Minneapolis back when I was a kid, teenager, in my 20s, all the rest of it. Going up and down Hennepin Avenue that was fun. No question. And now, of course, you end up getting stabbed, don't you?
Yeah, but you know what? You'd be fine.
It's good stabbing.
Maybe you'll find out you have some terminal disease and it'll be one of those stories where getting stabbed saved my life. How often you see those? Getting attacked by that rabid deer saved my life. Found out I have Lyme's disease.
Well, the Astor Theater, Tom, was, as I opened it up, the first picture, it says children, 10 cents. I was like, maybe this wasn't the right theater, but come to find out, this was a theater that opened in 1916.
Yep.
And
that's the one.
Yeah, and then 40s, 50s, 60s, it was all double features, and then by the time the late 60s, early 70s, the Astor Cafe became one of the most well-known adult houses in the city.
That's right.
Closed 1979.
Oh, did it really close in 79? God, it's been closed for 40-some years already. That's amazing. But all of that stuff, Schindler's was right across the street, so if you go in and you watch the Astor Art porno movie, you could go through the double doors at Schindler's and buy a porn magazine. So you had it all covered right there in the same block.
There's your whole Wednesday.
One of my favorite downtown Minneapolis stories, though, is the old Skyway Theater when it was a movie theater. What is it now? It's a club, isn't it?
It's a club. It's 3 different levels, and then it's got there's a theater in there, and then they also have another nightclub that has live music.
But a theater for live. They don't do movies there anymore.
They don't do movies. No, it's all it's a lot of music and stuff. Yeah,
right. That's what I thought. But when it opened, it first opened. It was a movie theater, and it had to be in the '80s somewhere in there. But Al Pacino and Gene Hackman did a movie called Scarecrow, and it's a great movie. If you've never seen the movie Scarecrow, watch it because it's a phenomenal. I mean, Gene Hackman and Al Pacino. How can it be bad, right? But there's a scene, and I won't say who it is. In the movie, it doesn't matter who it is because it turns out it's not true anyway. A guy has a little bit of a psychotic break in it, so he's just laying there with his eyes wide open. He won't move. And there was some guy in the back, because a lot of booze hounds would drink like a fish and then sit in the back seat and back row and sleep.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
All of a sudden, right in the middle of this movie, the guy's dead, you dumb bastard! And he just wouldn't stop yelling at the screen. He's yelling, look, take a gander, take a look, you dumbass.
Take a gander. He's dead. That's so funny.
My God.
That is so, who feels compelled? That is so funny.
I had so much fun on Hennepin Avenue. The Copper Squirrel, all the stuff long before you guys were even around.
That is just so funny.
I just love downtown. Are we ever going to get it back?
Yes.
No.
God, I love going down there and just wander around, drink like a fish and act like a complete pain in the ass.
Maybe that's the problem.
But nobody cared.
Yeah.
Oh, I was never one of those kind of annoying other people. I only annoyed myself.
Yeah, I believe that.
That is true. There's no question about it. I'm really good at annoying myself. There's no doubt.
And others.
You could go right across the street, by the way. Piazza's was a great restaurant. The Piazza family owned it. What the hell was it called again? Was it right there between, I guess it would be 7th and 8th in Hennepin? The Italian restaurant was there for years and years and years. And the Piazza family owned it because I went to school with Pete and Paul Piazza. But I can't remember the name of the damn restaurant. It was an Italian restaurant. It was there for decades. You know, that stuff closes and it just kind of goes away, doesn't it?
Yeah, just things come and go.
I hate that.
Nothing is forever.
I hate everything about it.
Except the ebb and flow.
The ebb and flow of life, ladies and gentlemen. There's no doubt about it. I just think we're going. Are we? Because people aren't going back downtown to work anymore. Didn't they say they lost about 35% of the workforce downtown?
Yeah, I mean, I know that Target, they sold a lot of their
they did.
Buildings, and then now most people I know that work for Target just work from home.
Yeah, they do. Yep. It's true.
I know there's, and we had a bunch of messages people write in when we were talking about this. People want to be able to decide, and then some hilarious listener wrote in and was like, if they make me come in, I'm quitting immediately.
Yeah, they do. They do.
So
yep.
People got feelings about it for sure.
But look, do me a favor. Like Timmy Murray, well, he's not around. Well, he's still around once in a while. But Murray's, I will never give up going to Murray's. Places like that. There are several places downtown. I'm never going there because, well, they got, valet parking. So, unfortunately, you got to get valet parking. Otherwise, certain areas just too dangerous.
I know, but there's still nothing more fun than like a summer night going downtown, going to a restaurant, parking, and then going to a show. It's so good.
It was great. We have to take a break. Be right back. It gets very busy here in the next 40 minutes. We got Phil Mackey and Ken Hrbek. Then right after that, Timmy Lammers will be with us. All kinds of stuff happening in the next 40 minutes on the show. We'll be right back.
The last thing you think about after an accident is how your social media might be used against you. Hi, I'm Mike Bryant, and I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything or post anything online until you've talked to us. These days, it's natural to share online what's happening to you, good and bad. When you file an injury claim, insurance adjusters will use anything they can to keep you from getting what you deserve. Your social media posts can be twisted and taken out of context. That includes words and pictures. Don't give them any fuel. Hey, you'll have the rest of your life to share the trip to the lake or your new job, but you only have one shot at winning your injury claim. If you've been in an accident, don't wait. Schedule your free case consultation now with Bradshaw and Bryant. Visit MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. That's MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
There's plenty of thoughts that come into your head when you think the name Killebrew. Of course, there's the Minnesota baseball legend, Harmon, who was responsible for many a favorite memory at the old Met Stadium in Bloomington, and many a baseball that ended up in the stands and in the gloves of adoring fans from his home runs. There's Killebrew Drive, the legendary road that connects Highway 77 to the Mall of America, and a day of shopping you'll never forget. My current thoughts for the name Killebrew is fun floats in our kitchen with my kids and grandkids, a cool, refreshing break in between innings at Target or CHS Field. Or maybe a perfect sunset paired with a sweet, frothy beverage after fishing or on your favorite walleye lake. Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Grab a six-pack at a grocery or convenience store near you. I'm Tom Barnard. This spring and summer, enjoy the one Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Gluten and caffeine-free with a generous portion of delicious thrown in. Killebrew, where memories are created and legends are made.
I'm Tom Barnard, obviously. So I'm actually the only professional. Somebody was cutting a whiz in his terms.
I got to tell you something. The reason I'm a few seconds late.
What?
Yeah, no.
Oh, God.
I don't know who it is on the floor or in the building.
Uh-oh.
But somebody was eating a lot of garlic last night.
Oh, my God, stop.
I went into that bathroom an hour ago, and it smelled like garlic.
Stop. I will not
I went in there just
engage.
now. An hour later, it still smells like garlic.
You are mentally breaking me. Stop.
I'm just trying to give you the... I
don't need the rundown. I do not need the play-by-play of the bathroom breaks.
Here's the deal.
No.
And here's the problem with Brittany. She loves to hang out in the men's room down there, except for when it smells like garlic.
That's where I get my best business. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
I hate myself. I don't know why I said it.
There you go. Phil, how you doing?
I'm alive. I'm alive, Tom.
And Kent's with us as well?
Yes.
You're alive. That's a start.
He's alive. I got to mention this very quickly, Kent. Last night, I just went down and support the boys a little bit. Phil and Judd had the NFL draft over at Park Tavern. I got there at about 5:50, something like that. You could not park within about 3 blocks of that place. You couldn't get in the place. There was not room for one more person. Hell of a crowd last night, Phil.
It was a blast. But I'm a little raspy this morning here, as you can tell.
No, you sound like me.
I do. Yes. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Let's talk about Killebrew root beer. Yes, I am Tom Bernard.
That's a pretty good. I think it's a really, really good impression.
Minnesota legend, a legend, Kent Hrbek. Yes.
Okay, let me read it now and see if I can get it. Minnesota legend Kent Hrbek Sports is brought to you by Killebrew Old-Fashioned Root Beer and Cream Soda at the ballpark up north or in your fridge. Killebrew Root Beer and Cream Soda, ladies and gentlemen. Just pointed out. So, yes, I wanted to congratulate you. Hell of a crowd last night.
Thank you, man.
Very interesting. Met a lot of nice people. I stayed backstage most of the time and talked to other workers at Hubbard. Had a great time. But I met 10 people there last night just walking through the room. And it was kind of weird. I was trying to figure this out, Phil. Maybe you and Kent can figure this out. 8 of the 10 people that came up and said, hey, I've been listening to the show. Thanks a lot, blah, blah, blah. 8 of the 10 were women. I thought that was interesting. All those women came to your draft party.
I can draw them in, can I? Oh, it wasn't because of me?
No, it was you. Absolutely. I know Kent Hrbek personally. Oh, really? Yes, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Well, I mean, the intoxicating baritones do tend to draw the women out, I think,
that's
on the podcast.
So you got there at 5:50 last night, Tom.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And did you hang around till, what was it, like 5 minutes after 10 before they finally made their pick or what?
It was about 5 after 10, wasn't it? No, I left at 7. I told them I wasn't going to be there because the focus of that was the draft. And I just said, I just want to come and show you some support, and then I'll leave and get out of your way. So I didn't intend to stay for the draft in any case. But it was
we
about
were
10
hoping,
o'clock,
We were hoping Tom would lead a skull chant at some point. Get him up there and do the boom, boom, skull.
No, you guys are pretty good about that.
So it was busy at 6 o'clock, and it didn't. And things were happening at 6 o'clock in the draft, and they didn't do their pick until 5 after 10. There probably was some intoxication going on around there.
No, I wouldn't. These are responsible Vikings fans, Kent.
Yeah.
Responsible Vikings fans.
3 and 2 is a full count. So hey, don't try to get it.
But it was not one person getting out of line. Everybody was well behaved. They were happy. They were excited. It was a really nice night.
Yeah, people. It's funny. Like football fans. So there's a little, if they would have gone way off the grid, but I think football fans just want to have a couple beers and cheer for whoever gets drafted. And you wait for 3 or 4 hours. The buzzkill last year was when they had the 12th pick, I think, and then they traded back to the last pick in the first round, and people are like, come on, what are we doing here? Gonna wait. Now we got to wait till 11:30, Ken, instead of 10:30. So at least they were efficient last night.
Here's another question. I'm asking questions today. No.
Okay.
Was the Twins game on any place there?
It wasn't on in the back bar. It was all NFL draft. I mean, we knew they were going to smoke the Royals last night, anyways, right?
Oh, okay.
But it was on out in the bowling alley.
It was. Yep, they had it.
Okay.
It was indeed. Yep.
How about that? Byron Buxton and Carlos Correa going deep last night.
Back to back. That was nice to see those guys get heated up for a day here anyway. They got a stretch right now where they got 3 teams that'll be playing: Kansas City, Chicago, and Cleveland here, who are struggling.
Yep.
So boy, they got to get on the move with that. That would be nice to stretch things out here a little bit and play some good baseball, which I think they have been myself. They've been good, but and back to football. What do you think of the first pick?
I love Kent slinging the questions and the football takes here. So
yeah.
I like it. I mean, Adam Thielen was the number 2 wide receiver, and he's gone. They had some contract issues with him, and he wanted to go be featured in a different organization. I think he's going to come back and be a Ring of Honor guy at some point. I don't think there's bad blood, but they needed a number 2 wide receiver, and Jordan Addison he's one of the better receivers in the draft. The question is, I don't know how closely you guys followed this, but so Will Levis is the quarterback that was projected to maybe be the number 2 overall pick, and at worst he would maybe fall to the 4th pick. And this poor kid sat in the green room on ESPN and NFL Network all night, because that's what happened. These guys who are going to be top 5 picks, they're about to make millions of dollars and change their lives. They got their girlfriend, their wife, their parents, whatever it is. And this poor kid sat there for 5 hours as he tumbled out of the first round. And so the question is, the Vikings were rumored to be looking at quarterbacks to replace Kirk Cousins after the season, and they decided to not draft Will Levis. But You know what? I saw this about Will Levis. So he eats bananas whole.
No.
Like the peel and everything.
What?
No.
And if I'm a general manager, Ken, I don't know if you're a banana peel guy, but he's, to me, like, I'm taking him off my board, man. You're a sociopath. You're eating the banana peel?
That's weird.
What?
That's odd.
Can't do it.
Okay. Somebody has a screw loose, but that's right.
I want you to do me a favor, though, Mr. Hrbek, and I need you to do this, and I'll set up
the asking questions.
No, that's not it at all.
All right.
But the guy the Vikings drafted last night, I want you to get the exact same suit he was wearing, and then we'll all go out to dinner.
Yep, I would look like a balloon in that. They would think I was doing a gender reveal or something.
A big pink balloon. Here comes a big pink balloon.
It's a girl. No, it's just Ken.
That's exactly it.
That was, that was. I don't have one of those. I'm gonna have to go pick one up. Do they sell those at Men's Warehouse? No?
Yes, Men's Warehouse. That's exactly where he got it, I'm sure. Absolutely. Oh, Christ. So what did you think of the overall draft? Did you like so far so good with most of the first round?
You want my take or Kent's take
Both
on the
of you,
draft?
actually, would be great.
You're not getting my take. I didn't see any of it, so I'm out of this question.
Okay, never mind.
I like it. I think it's great. I think add to the offense. Get another weapon in here for Kirk Cousins or whoever winds up being the quarterback, and get some excitement. Now today there's round 2 and round 3 tonight, and they have one pick in the third round, but there's some rumors that they might trade up. They might get crazy. So
really,
we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Stay tuned to Purple Daily on the Purple Daily YouTube channel.
I have some big fans that live out in Casper, Wyoming. Okay.
Yes.
And she's a big Raiders fan. Who did they get? Did they pick anybody any good?
So they grabbed. So the Raiders are funny. I feel like the Raiders are always the team that reaches for the super athletic, fast player that can't catch, or like the quarterback that can throw the ball 78 yards, Jamarcus Russell, 15 years ago, but weighs 280 pounds and doesn't practice and can't read a defense. So they took a defensive lineman named Tyree Wilson, who's just a 240-pound athletic machine, and
okay.
I think it's a good pick.
Raiders,
I think it's good.
I take the Vikings then, so I could win my bet against her.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think you're good there. Yeah. Just tell them we said you won, and you'll be good.
Okay.
I like it. That works for me. That's all I'm saying. Now, I like the fact we're talking a little football, a little baseball. Before we move on from football and talk a lot of baseball, who was that guy, a receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, this is about 15 years ago, maybe even 20 years ago. He was always open, always wide open, and could not catch a football.
Troy Williamson.
That's the guy, Troy. Very good.
Troy Williamson was drafted to replace Randy Moss,
That's
right? They traded Randy Moss, and they had the 7th overall pick, and we're going to bring in Troy Williamson and this pork. First of all, that's a terrible spot to be in. That's like, hey, you're going to replace Kent Hrbek to play first base for the Minnesota Twins. And by the way, that, not to rip on anyone, that didn't work out for a number of years either.
That's a pretty strong analogy right there.
Yeah.
And
there's a highlight of Troy Williamson. It's, if you just type it into YouTube, you can find it, where he is, like Tom said, streaking wide, 20 yards wide open. And I can't remember who threw that. I think it might have been Tavares Jackson who threw the pass, and the ball is, here it comes. It's just a raindrop wide. All you have to do is catch it and walk into the end zone, and it bounces off his head.
Yep, bounced off his head. Guy. I will never. He could not catch it. Always wide open. Could not catch a football. I'll never forget it.
But he was fast.
He was very, very fast. It seemed like a nice
There we
guy.
go.
Yeah.
At least you were fast.
No question about it. Now, Ken, let me ask you a question about kind of the same thing.
Here I am.
In my entire life, since I was 9 years old, being a Twins fan, and I'm not just talking about the Twins, I'm talking about all Major League Baseball, I have never seen so many balls dropped in the first month of the season in my life. What is with everybody dropping baseballs right now?
Are they dropping baseballs?
Oh, God, many people going back to, over-the-shoulder catch. They don't catch it. They do this thing now where they hold up their glove and they hold it away from their head and the ball drops in there most of the time. But a lot of times, it would seem to me if you're not keeping your eye on the ball the whole time, isn't it kind of hard to catch a baseball if you don't have your eye on it?
Yeah, that tends to help to watch it into your glove, yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah. I haven't noticed that they're dropping baseballs, are they? I didn't notice that.
Very high rate, actually. And I'm talking about across the board, too. It's happening a lot. Okay. So I don't know what the hell that's all about.
Well, maybe they're not teaching these guys how to catch. Maybe they're worried about picking out their walk-up song.
I mean, it is important, make sure you get the right 15-second hook on the chorus is always the most important thing.
Oh, that's true.
What would your walk-up song have been, Herbie?
Oh, my walk-up song. I can't say it on the radio. Oh, I can say anything on this podcast.
Right.
I mean, yeah, this is Tom Barnard uncensored.
Yes. That's exactly.
I know we've been talking a lot about Ken Hrbek getting his own street in Bloomington, but Kent, you do realize that you do have a beer named after you at 9 Mile Brewing. I didn't know that until I went there last night and had one.
Oh, is that you haven't had it yet?
No.
It's pretty good.
It's delicious. It's very good. Yeah.
I don't have a walk-up song, by the way. I don't think I would. You know what? I know Timmy Laudner always said I ain't as good as I once was, or whatever. He said that was going to be his walk-up song.
But I'm as good once as I ever was. Yeah.
Timmy Laudner.
Yeah, but the Herbie's Grand Slam Kolsch over there at 9 Mile Brewery. Yeah, good beer.
Delicious.
It is a good one. I like it. I like it a lot.
No question.
But I haven't pushed too many beers away either.
No.
Okay. So we got your Minnesota Twins, the only team in our division that's above 500. You got Cleveland's at what's Cleveland at? Like
they're 12-13.
12-13, so they're one game under.
Yep, a couple games behind us.
Yeah, a couple games behind us. So do you think? Because you're looking at the as you already pointed out, Kent, the people that are coming to town and we're headed there are not playing very good baseball right now. Is this? When you're a player and you're sitting around the clubhouse and the manager's talking to you, all the rest of it, you go, hey, this is what we got to put the pedal to the metal. These are teams that we should take a lot of games from. I mean, do they talk about that kind of thing?
No, you know what I think. As a TK, I always try to instill, and I always bring up TK because he was my manager the longest. But I think anybody in the clubhouse, you got to concentrate on what's going on that day. You start looking down the road, you forget about what's happening on the day you're playing. You start thinking about tomorrow's pitcher tonight.
Right.
Got a problem. So yeah, you try to play, that old adage, one day at a time. And I think, and it's tough in baseball because tough, but it's you got a 162 game schedule. So if you start thinking out too far, you got a task at hand that night. If you're worried about what you're going to be doing this weekend or who you're playing the next weekend or whatever, you're going to get passed up pretty quick. So you have to stay in the moment. Don't get out too far ahead of you. But it's for us fans and stuff that look down the road. Goes, God, we got some teams that aren't playing very well. We got to keep going. But the guys got to stay in tune and say, hey, we got the Royals this afternoon at 3:10. We gotta play those guys and let's try to win that game.
I was gonna say, unless you're playing the Royals, you can be like, all of that sounds true unless you're playing the Royals, right? I mean, come on.
Oh no, well, hey, they can beat us as well as anybody can beat you, and you run into a good pitcher, a hot pitcher. I don't care who you're playing. It's all on paper. You should beat them, but you still got to play the game.
I was today years old, by the way, when I realized that Zach Greinke is still a major league pitcher. He's back with the Royals, and maybe he was there last year too. But the Twins knocked him around a little bit yesterday.
This is his eighth loss against the Twins or something at home here.
Yeah, I think really right.
Target Field. Wow, and that he's a good pitcher, great pitcher in his day, and has been a great pitcher. Struggling, but yeah, he's been a good one. But the Twins I've definitely done well against them. That's for sure. What about our Wild? We didn't talk any hockey.
No, let's talk some hockey because you would look really good in skates.
Hey, I love to skate.
I know you do.
Well, I did. I love
What happened?
What happened? I know my knees can't take it anymore, but no, I'm a hockey nut. I love hockey, and I see the boys tonight. They're playing, right?
Yes, sir.
I think they're going to force a Game 7 tonight.
I don't see why not. I've heard from some sources, some people that I know that they thought Dallas was going to guy that's into hockey, and he's actually a scout, not a scout, but a player development guy in another organization. And he thought Dallas had the better team and would beat them, but you never know with injuries and this and that and stuff, he said. But, hey, we got to get Caprill going and get him some time on the ice as he has had, but put the puck in the net. But put the biscuit in the basket, as they say.
Oh, there you go. There you
go. Light the lamp.
That's right. And gonna win. You never know. If they get this game tonight, they go back to Dallas, which is a tough place for them to play. But I think they can. Why not?
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
No, we need to watch some playoff hockey. That'd be fun.
If the Stars had any guts at all whatsoever, they would put the nickname up for grabs for whoever wins this series. If Minnesota wins, we get the North Stars back.
Oh, there you go.
If Dallas loses, they have to name their team something else. You can no longer be the Stars. Cowards.
Like that's what they should have put. That's what the governor should have went. Should have went for that and said, hey, instead of offering you some wild rice or something for being us, we want our name back.
Now, growing up in North Minneapolis, not a lot of hockey being played up there when I was a kid. I got to be very honest with you. But my favorite thing about the Minnesota North Stars back in the day was Gump Worsley wouldn't wear a mask to play goaltender. Holy God, that's brave, isn't it?
That's pretty funny to see those old pictures of them goaltenders standing in the net with a mask on.
Oh man, standing in goal with no mask on your face, and he had a scar or two on his noggin. By the way, if you ever met him,
you had to have a screw loose to stand in on net and have these guys blast pucks at you, man. That's great.
See, by the way, I think catchers back when baseball started back in the 1800s.
No, don't.
No one wore a glove.
They just caught the ball.
You just let it bounce off your forehead. Yeah.
Oh my God. Things have improved quite a bit since then. I'm glad to hear that. There's no doubt about it. No, that would be great if the Wild could win this night, go to the 7th game. See how, like you said, very tough in Dallas. Your Minnesota Twins are in first place by a couple of games, right where we need them. And again, Kent, I understand your position. You can't look and go, our next few opponents are very weak. You got to play game by game by game. That's true.
Right.
But it's a really good time right now, I think, except for, of course, unless you're a Timberwolves fan because they suck every year. But, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just depressed.
But sounds like everybody's excited about the draft. That the Vikings got somebody they wanted. That's a good thing. We got a goofy game here with the Twins today. It's a 3:10 happy hour game or something. How do you like that?
Happy hour at 3:10?
Yeah, they're trying. So they're just trying to tap into. Hey, people are cutting out of work at 2-3 o'clock. Let's start the game early and see if we can draw a crowd. So we'll see.
Maybe that's what it is. I'll be watching. We're having the family over for dinner tonight and tomorrow night, so that'll be a good thing.
Well, the game will be over by the time you have dinner.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'll watch the game, and then after the game, I can have dinner. That'll be wonderful.
Tom seems like a 4:45 dinner kind of guy. 4:45, 5 o'clock.
Back in the day when I used to get up at 3:30 in the morning, you damn right I was.
Yep.
But now I just later like 6:01.
Sleeping by 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I was asleep. Exactly. I had to be in bed by 5:15. I'm telling you, I bring this up all the time, but it's true, fellas. I'm not kidding you. 37 years, I never drove to work when it was light out. That is so weird to drive to work when it's light out. Bizarre.
I bet.
It is a really.
I did the same thing playing baseball. You get so in tune to playing we had day games, of course, but a lot of night games on the road. Man, I was lucky if I was up before noon. It was crazy.
Boy, what a tough life sleeping till noon, huh?
Well, yeah, but I was up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning after every game too. After you,
that's
down.
True.
Wow, sleep till noon, hit a grand slam, wave to the fans, eat some catered food, and go to bed.
Some catered food.
Okay, some dome dogs, maybe some dome dogs.
There you go. If you call that catered, dome dog.
Yeah, I've never seen Kent down in the Champions Club having dinner. What are you talking about?
Oh no, he's talking about when I played, eating catered food. We didn't have catered food like.
What did they give you after a game? Late '80s Metrodome.
The clubbies made some food or whatever.
Some bologna sandwiches or something.
Those were around once in a while. Yeah, back in the day. I remember, in spring training we used to have. This is funny. Okay, so we go down to Florida in the spring where it's nice and warm, coming back from to Minneapolis, going down to spring training. For lunch, we'd have hot soup.
In Florida?
They'd make a big batch of soup. That's what our lunch was.
And it was already like 80 degrees outside anyway?
It's 100 degrees out, and we're going to go out and play ball. Here's a cup of hot soup.
Here's a cup of hot gumbo for you.
There you go.
Yes.
That is bleak.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Melted cheese on top.
We did all right.
You did all right. All right, fellas, well, that's going to do it for another week. Hell of a report, I thought. But again, Phil, congratulations on a great crowd last night. Nobody got out of line. Well, I was only there for the first hour, but nobody got out of line when I was there, which is pretty impressive.
Judd got out of line once, so we had to, rein him back in.
What a shock. Typical move is all I'm saying.
See you guys.
And Kent, one of these days, man, we're going to have to go out and grab a little lunch again with Bilski or somebody.
All righty. Have a great weekend, folks. Go Twins. Go Wild. And then go to bed.
Thank you, Mr. Hrbek. I appreciate it.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Minnesota legend Kent Hrbek Sports brought to you by Killebrew Old-Fashioned Root Beer and Cream Soda at the ballpark up north or in your fridge. Killebrew Root Beer and Cream Soda, ladies and gentlemen. Those guys are very good together, don't you think?
Oh, they're so funny. I love Kent. I'm asking the questions.
Just a great. I'm asking the questions.
I love that. He is so funny.
Did he get his street yet?
They have not made the announcement yet.
What the hell? Let's go with the street.
Come on.
I still want to, if they ever name a street Tom Barnard Street, I want to make sure it's a cul-de-sac so it's only 1 block long. What do you think?
Perfect.
Tom Barnard Street is a half a block long.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
That way it'd be less to vandalize.
That's exactly my point. Why let them tear down all kinds of street signs when there's only one in a cul-de-sac?
Done. You're thinking it through.
I've been thinking. All I do is shoulder to the wheel. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes.
That's all I'm saying. I'm here to tell you. Should we take a break?
I think we should.
I think we should. We'll be right back. Timmy Lammers will join us. Talk a little schmoozing little movies, TV shows, all that stuff's up next. Tom Barnard Show.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Mike Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a community bank based right here in the Twin Cities, we believe in taking the time to get to know our customers and their businesses.
And part of that is hiring and cultivating a team of experienced lenders. When your business banks with us, you're not training in a new, inexperienced banker.
In fact, our bankers have worked with many of the same customers for years, earning their trust. We get to know you and your business, and you get to know and rely upon us.
When your business is looking to capitalize on an opportunity or solve a problem, we'll be here to help you.
Tom here. I know Brad and Mike, and I trust that with my banking, they've personally delivered on everything they've just said. So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
There's plenty of thoughts that come into your head when you think the name Killebrew.
Of course, there's the Minnesota baseball legend, Harmon, who was responsible for many a favorite memory at the old Met Stadium in Bloomington, and many a baseball that ended up in the stands and in the gloves of adoring fans from his home runs. There's Killebrew Drive, the legendary road that connects Highway 77 to the Mall of America, and a day of shopping you'll never forget. My current thoughts for the name Killebrew is fun floats in our kitchen with my kids and grandkids, a cool, refreshing break in between innings at Target or CHS Field. Or maybe a perfect sunset paired with a sweet, frothy beverage after fishing or on your favorite walleye lake. Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Grab a six-pack at a grocery or convenience store near you. I'm Tom Barnard. This spring and summer, enjoy the one Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Gluten and caffeine-free with a generous portion of delicious thrown in. Killebrew, where memories are created and legends are made.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Brittany just played me a piece of audio. We got to listen to the rest of it.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea what the hell what they get to.
So when you use the app, the Tom Barnard podcast app, on the top left, there's a little talk button that says, like, feedback for the show. And that's just a message to us. You can also leave an audio message. And Mike sent us an audio message, and we just started it. We were going to listen to the rest of it, but it was about boozing it up in Duluth and going to Denny's to recover in the next day. So I'm excited to hear the rest of the joke.
Something about Durr. What's the Durr part?
It was they made a reservation under Durr.
And I can't figure out what.
I gotta wait. Yeah, I want to hear the rest of it. We jump back in, so we'll listen. Mike, we're gonna listen. And feel free, anybody else. The audio ones are funny. I love listening to people's voices.
Indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Timmy Lammers now joins us. Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant, bringing you Timmy Lammers. Tim, how are you?
I'm good, Tommy. I can see you and Brittany and Rudy.
I know. Isn't this great? We can see you. You can't hide from us now.
No longer now. I wore this because this
cocaine bear, baby.
Yeah, I'm glad you got to it, baby.
I did. Kath and I thought it was hilarious. It's not a great movie, but it is funny.
No. I gave it a 7 out of 10 on the Lamometer, but it does certainly fit the bill. And also, because that's on Peacock now, you can get the documentary about the real cocaine bear.
Oh, really?
About the guy that dropped the cocaine, who was a very nefarious fella. So there's a lot more to the story than this doofus who dropped the coke. And, obviously they used that whole bear thing, getting coked up, as a springboard. And then they just did their own story. But the real story is pretty fascinating. So I should point out too, this shirt, you can't really see it, but on my sleeve it says "Don't coke the bear."
Don't coke the bear in red letters. In red letters, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're talking.
So we got, I think, a film that you're really gonna like, Tommy. Big George Foreman, baby.
Oh, I love George Foreman. Really love that guy. Great guy.
This film, the entire title, I should go through it. It might take about 10 minutes. Big George Foreman, the miraculous story of the once and future heavyweight champion of the world. That is the official title of the film. So, Foreman, man, I tell you what, it's interesting. I get home from seeing the film, and my youngest son said, well, did they talk about the George Foreman grill? Because you have to remember, a lot of younger generations only know him for that. They don't.
Yeah, the grill,
realize,
yes. Yep.
Yeah, they do not realize it is truly a miraculous story, considering
it is.
This guy grew up in extreme poverty, okay? And he had no hope. He found this program called the Job Corps, where he met Doc Broadus, played by Forrest Whitaker. Chris Davis is the guy who plays George Foreman. It's there that, he realizes George has all this anger. He's a teenager still. And he says, I have a way for you to channel that anger, and let's get into the ring. Within a year, this is miraculous. He was boxing in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay, Mexico City, 1976, I believe, won the gold medal. All right. God. This guy was destined for greatness. So you get that, it's sort of a Cliff Notes version of his career. I mean, obviously there's only so much you can squeeze into a couple hours, so you get all of those highlights. You get that, you get his fighting on the way to the top, where he meets Joe Frazier in the ring. And yes, you get a guy playing Howard Cosell, who is it's a caricature. Okay.
So it's not great.
No, not really. I mean, there are weaknesses in this. You got great actors playing the leads, thankfully, but how it goes out seems like more of a impersonation than it actually is. Goes out. But you do get down goes Frasier. Down goes Frasier.
I love that. You know that at 2 years old, my grandson Sage, when he would slip and fall, lying on his back, he'd go, "Down goes Frasier."
I wonder where he learned that one from.
Yeah,
Tommy.
where'd he come up with that one? That was hilarious.
Yeah, so, that, again, the boxing is about the first half of the film is about that rise and inevitable fall because he does meet Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
Again, played by a guy that seems like a caricature. Although I will say that the guy who plays him, what's his name? Tom Sullivan something. I'll get that right. He grows on me. But, it doesn't look really that much like Muhammad Ali or whatever. But really, that was the beginning of the end of the first chapter of his career. And he lost to Jimmy Young. He decides, you know what? He found God in the locker room. He says, I'm going to be a preacher. And that's exactly what he did for the next 10 years. He was a preacher. He had his own church. He started this youth center. But as these stories go, when you get bad financial advice and mismanagement, the dude lost everything. And that is why, he gets into this whole grill thing, the George Foreman grill.
Right.
And then ultimately he has nothing. So he has no choice but to get back into the ring. And amazingly, at age 45, we know how this story ends. He once again becomes the heavyweight champion of the world.
At 45.
It's an extraordinary, it's extraordinary.
It is.
He was in the ring with Holyfield, but then a couple years later, he had an opportunity with Michael Moorer. It's not Michael Moore, it's Moorer. And he did, in fact, defeat him. And at age 45, he was on top again. So, look, it's a boxing movie, not as polished as your Creed 3s.
Right.
It's a lower budgeted picture. It's a faith-based picture. And this is what I like about this, Tom, because, obviously George Foreman is very spiritual. Okay. But when you don't get traditional Hollywood involved, there's nobody sowing the seeds of division and hate in this. Right. And it's about his faith. It's not about him wagging a finger at us saying, we need you to get faith. No, it's his story. Naturally, because of this, because Hollywood is with all these Christian-based things, critics are pissing all over it, the rotten whatever. But listen to me. There is an audience for this film. They made it for you. They did not make it for critics.
No.
I love boxing. I grew up with George Foreman, Muhammad Ali, all these great fighters. My father, who gave me that love of boxing. So this was really cool. It's not perfect, but a 7 out of 10 on the Lamameter.
Isn't it amazing? I'm glad you pointed that out because we in America, and I don't know why we rotate through, but we do, they have to go against a skin color. They have to go against the sexual orientation. They have to go against, everything that you named. Now it's apparently Roman Catholics are the devil in America now. I don't know why, but whatever. But they always have to have enemies in each one of those categories. It's just weird.
Yeah, well, and the interesting thing about this is, like I say, there's not division and hatred in this. Yes, are there veiled references of racism? Of course, of course. His story starts in the 1960s when he and his 3 siblings and a single mother are dirt poor.
Yep.
It's a heartbreaking scene when they're sitting there at dinner sharing a hamburger between the 4 kids. One freaking hamburger.
Oh, God.
Okay. And then there's the other thing, just kind of getting to the local political scene. I am really glad that all kids are going to have a free lunch. Can some pay for it? Yes. But to see a scene in this film where this poor kid is sitting there at lunch outside where everybody's got a bag lunch but him. This is George Foreman. And, and he was not teased necessarily because of his racial makeup. He was targeted because he was poor. Okay. So it was heartbreaking, some of this stuff, seeing this. But again, that anger, every story leads to somewhere. And that anger led him to this Job Corps place where he met somebody who mentored him, and he found a way to properly channel that anger into something good, right? So it really is an uplifting story. Yes, there's elements of spirituality throughout the thing. Again, but I don't feel like they're preaching to me. Now you talk about virtue signaling.
Yeah,
if you want that,
yeah.
you can watch any mainstream Hollywood picture and you're going to get that. But you're not going to get that here.
No, I'm glad to hear that. Could you do me a favor and repeat that? Because I want to do a Peter Falk thing that he always did in movies, which I just loved when he did. I loved Peter Falk. Had an opportunity to meet him. He came into the studio once and did shows with. Just a great guy. But if you would just talk about that, 4 people eating one hamburger, and then I'll be Peter Falk right after you're done talking.
So there was a scene where they shared a hamburger between 4 children, and it was just heartbreaking.
Paradise. There was one story.
Yeah,
I can't remember
yeah.
the movie,
Well,
but he was like, we suffered and we didn't have any clothes. We didn't have anywhere to live. We had to sleep under a bridge. That's paradise.
So getting to George's story again, yes, the George Foreman grill is a part of it. They kind of allude to it. All right. And then at the end, naturally, and this is where Tim starts to tear up because they show the real guy, real George and the actors and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
And they give like an epilogue of what happened and whatever. And the banker said, yeah, you did this little George Foreman grill thing that's doing okay or whatever, bringing in some money. In the end, he sold the rights to that for how much? How much you think?
I hope more than $1 million.
$137 million.
137 million. That's phenomenal.
I still have one and I still
We
use
do too.
it. It's amazing.
We do too. We got one.
I have one to take the plates
seeing
off.
this movie is, I'm sorry, go ahead, Brittany. I mean, that's what's uplifting about this is that this guy really, he did what he could to keep, he had this youth center he wanted to keep open. That was his main concern.
Right.
He wanted to help other people. So anyway, what are you saying, Brittany?
Oh, I have this fancy one that you can take the plates off of.
Yeah, yep.
And throw in the in the dishwasher.
In the dishwasher, yep.
And you can do. I love it.
The one we got.
The one they put the bun warmer on the top. We were living like kings.
King, and how good we had it.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah. So it's great for the generations who do not know this guy as the boxer, but now they can learn about. They hit all the highlights of his career, and now they can really realize it was a miraculous career that he had. And now his legacy will be, he's still alive and hopefully he'll be around many, many more years. But they were talking about that $137 million he made. That means that youth center he put up, that church that he put up, they will be here forever because of that. So, it's a feel great movie, man. I mean, again, it's got its faults. It's got the guy that tries to be there's a guy who also tries to be Johnny Carson at one point too. So yeah, but other than that, I mean, it's a good picture.
Timmy, you're a good man, and we'll talk to you again next week, obviously.
Sounds good. Next Tuesday on the Tom Barnard Family Podcast, Brittany and Rudy and Tommy, all of you have a great weekend.
You too. Bye.
You, bud.
Timmy Lammers, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. That is MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. And that's going to do it. Paradise. That's all I have to say. Talk to you later.